Has officially requested a trade from the Dallas Cowboys. Micah released a statement today saying, in part, unfortunately, I no longer want to be here. I no longer want to be held to closed-door negotiations without my agent present. Parsons, of course, is seeking a contract extension from the Cowboys. This comes a day after Commanders wide receiver Terry McLaurin also requested a trade.
SportsCenter brought to you by Synergenics. Book your appointment at fixmylowteam.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons. The San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Oh, my goodness. Fireworks on a Friday from the tennis courts in Oxnard, California. Hello, everybody. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagel. Jason Minix is here as well. And breaking news this afternoon.
Well, and you look at everything that has been going on, the boiling point, and it came today with Micah Parsons. And we're going to cover it all as we have been here from Cowboys training camp. And it's interesting because there was the reports early this morning from Diana Rossini that he was going to request a trade. And then Micah's brother said, until you hear from Micah, don't believe anything. And then Micah tweeted, War and Peace. I mean, he wrote a novel in the note section of his iPhone and then tweeted that out where he goes through, gives us a little bit more detail than what we've known. And at the end says he no longer wants to be a Cowboy, and he has personally requested a trade with Stephen Jones.
Said he gave it to him personally,
Yep.
right? Yeah, so he has requested a trade. Of course, it's been getting kind of, I don't know, unpleasant, for lack of a better word, for several days since we've been out here at Cowboys camp. But he has requested a trade, and we'll see where that goes. Look, it's just part of doing business. I mean, it really is. Terry McLaurin did the same thing yesterday with the Washington Commanders, and it's just it's negotiations, man. It's life in the NFL.
Well, and it is, and the big question is why? Why does it get to this point consistently with the Dallas Cowboys? Other teams go through this. We're seeing it play out in Cincinnati, obviously in Washington, but it just seems like every star player for the Cowboys has to twist in the wind before they finally get paid. And I still think he'll end up getting paid. But let's have a little fun. What would Micah Parsons be on the trade value? Now, Joe Reinagel, you said a long time ago, trade him. Can you afford all these guys? Trade them.
At least kick the tires on it, and maybe they'll be forced to.
Well, but now you wonder if a player has requested a trade, didn't demand, but requested. I think the words matter. It's a difference. But when you look at it, what would you get for a Micah Parsons if you're the Dallas Cowboys? So if you remember back at the Super Bowl, we were talking with Lindsey Rhodes from formerly the NFL Network, now with Sumer Sports, and she gave us like all the details of how the contract breaks down and what the number could be. So a quick text, all right, well, what's the trade value? And honestly, you're going back, the floor would be Khalil Mack. So at the very least, 2 first-round picks. At the very least, he would be worthy of up to 2 first-round picks.
Absolutely, and then some. I mean, I don't think
that's the floor.
Absolutely the floor. So, but again, would somebody be willing to trade that much for him and then turn around and give him the highest paid non-quarterback or highest paid quarterback, non-quarterback in the NFL? So there's a lot that goes into that. And again, we're looking at this and it's fun, but Mike is going to get paid. Mike is going to get his deal. But again, everybody wants to blame and show fault for this guy side or that side, and it's just negotiations in the NFL.
And in reality, it doesn't sound like there really are any negotiations going on. One of the interesting things that we have talked about at length before we got to Oxnard, since we've been here in Oxnard, all the Micah talking, and the one thing that we haven't really heard are actual numbers. It's all been speculation, and neither side has leaked the number. neither side has said, man, they're really trying to lowball me. Are you kidding me? Or are you kidding? He's asking for the moon. And normally in these kind of things, when stuff gets leaked to the media, there are numbers involved. And then fans can react one way or the other because both sides are going to play this out in the media. That's, what happens, not just with the Cowboys, but everybody. But that's one thing that we haven't really heard. And according to Micah's tweet today, there's a reason for that. There hadn't been any numbers. There hasn't been an offer submitted by the Cowboys. There haven't been a demand from the side of Micah Parsons other than, and this is what I really think is holding things up, Micah and Jerry had conversations. Jerry thought it was an agreement. Micah said, I didn't know we were negotiating. Now, Micah's not dumb, but what the hell do you think you were doing if you were literally talking numbers with the man that writes the check?
Well, and that's it. And he says there were no numbers given or no numbers submitted, I guess, to his agent. Jerry claims that they talked numbers, and I know they talked numbers. They had to have.
But with the agent, that's not there. I mean, and you can go to Micah Parsons' Twitter and read the tweet. I have retweeted it. I believe Joe has as well. Yep. At Joe Reinigle 210, at Jason Minix. It starts with, yes, I wanted to be here. I did everything I could to show that I wanted to be a Cowboy and wear the star on my helmet. I wanted to play in front of the best fans in sports and make this America's team once again. The team my pops and I grew up cheering for way up in Harrisburg, PA. Unfortunately, I no longer want to be here. I no longer want to be held to closed-door negotiations without my agent present. I no longer want shots taken at me for getting injured while laying it on the line for the organization, our fans, and my teammates. Wow, that's pretty powerful. Wow.
Oh, my goodness. Come on. I tell you what, it's just it's laughable. It's funny because they were doing interviews on the podium when all of this broke.
Yep.
And according to Calvin Watkins, a bunch of Cowboys were out working out offensive linemen when this happened, including Stephen Jones, who was on his phone at the time, saw Calvin, according to Calvin Watkins' tweet, and said no comment, and then left. So what they're doing right now, who knows? But again, I think this is just another day that ends in a Y when it comes to the Jones family.
Well, and again, you look at everything going on with Micah. He writes with those conversations with Jerry Jones. He said, yes, I engaged in a back and forth in regards to what I wanted from my contract, but at no point did I believe this was supposed to be a formal negotiation. I informed Mr. Jones afterward. My agent would reach out thinking this would get things done. And radio silence is the word that he's used. And I think we all kind of know Jerry well enough. You got a handshake agreement, we're staying to your words. Jerry thought he was negotiating. I don't know why Micah wouldn't think. If you said this is what you want, and he said okay, I'll go with there. But then again, let's look at something Stephen Jones told us earlier this week here on the Blitz. And you can go back and watch the interview on YouTube or the audio vault powered by AA Best Bail Bonds at sasportstar.com. We were talking about Shotty. And Steven said, we first started, just kind of debriefing all our coordinators like we had with the questions. And then the next meeting, Shotty realized this is kind of an interview. He showed up in a sport coat.
Exactly.
Right? I mean, he didn't know he was actually interviewing for the job when they first started asking questions, if he was on the short list, according to something that Steven said. But you're having these conversations. And again, Micah is not dumb. If you're talking years and money and what you want out of your contract with Jerry, shake hands. I don't know why you wouldn't think that was some sort of negotiation. If you agreed, hey, this is all I want. Because Mike even says in this tweet today, in his goodbye to Dallas fans post, that He doesn't have to be the highest paid, and he doesn't mind leaving money on the table.
Oh,
he wanted the
baloney.
long-term security. That's what he wrote.
Stop with all of that.
That's what he wrote.
That's what he wrote, but it's all BS.
Well,
and you know it as well as I do, and everybody listening knows it as well as I do. He wants to be the highest paid. Just come out and say that.
Well,
I mean, would you just come out and say that? Stop with this crap, because it's all crap.
He wrote it.
Well, he wrote it, but it's not truthful.
Well,
all right. So Jerry goes to him today and said, "Okay, Mike, I saw your statement. You don't have to be the highest paid guy. Here's $35 million per year. We're going to give you, I don't know, $90 million guaranteed. There you go. You're not the highest paid. Congratulations. Yep. What you want?" Micah would laugh in his face. Okay, so that's a bunch of crap.
Well,
now let's just be fair here to every side, because what he's saying there is just not true.
Well, I mean, again, he wrote it. Maybe at the time, he truly believed that. His agent talked him out of trying to get a deal done early. He writes that as well, because why leave money on the table? So I think there could be truths on both sides. At a time that he just wanted to get paid and get it over with. Now, it's gotten to the point where I don't think he would take less. In fact, he has demanded a trade, or not demanded. He has requested. As he writes, "I no longer want to play for the Dallas Cowboys. My trade request has been submitted to Stephen Jones personally."
Wow.
Fireworks.
I'm
on
sure
a Friday.
Stephen's shaking in his boots right now. Look, Micah's not going anywhere. He's not going to leave here. He'll get paid. This is all just a dog and pony show. That's all it is. And it's great for us. I think it's fantastic. What was I saying today? It'd be great if you requested a trade. Terry McLaurin did it yesterday with the Washington Commanders. But what I don't appreciate, if you're gonna spill and be transparent, then be transparent and just come out and say, "Look, I'm the best pass rusher in the NFL, and I want to be paid like it. I want to be the highest non-quarterback there is in the NFL," and just say that. Don't give me this crap that you don't want it. You don't have to be the high, because that's a bunch of baloney. It's just not true.
Yeah, well, and again, I'm only reporting.
I hear you.
I mean, he wrote it today. This isn't from somebody else's account. This isn't a reporter. This isn't his brother. This isn't some unnamed source. This is what Micah Parsons tweeted.
Absolutely. I'm looking at it just, like everybody else is, but that's just BS.
But again, we all said it was BS when he said it on TV.
Of course.
I don't have to be the highest paid. We know he wants to be a Cowboy. He's been out here doing all kinds of stuff. Hell, our conversation with Sam Williams yesterday, Sam went into great detail about ways Micah is helping his teammates. He's still here. I haven't seen him leave. And he's
not going to leave.
Oh no, because that would start costing him money. And here's the other thing: he ain't going to sit out and miss games.
No,
either.
He's not.
I mean, he's due to make $24 million this year.
Wow, I feel sorry for him.
Well, now granted, he's due to make. Here's a couple of things. One, I just don't see him missing game checks. Two, it wouldn't accomplish a thing if he sat out. See, you have to play, I believe, 6 games for it to be a vested year. So if he missed games and say he sat out the whole season, said, "I'm going to take my football and I'm going to go home," this time next year, he's in the exact same boat, because the year wouldn't count on his service record. And Jerry can tag him next year, and Jerry can tag him the year after that. Jerry has Micah Parsons' rights for at the very least the next 3 years, whether he gets a new long-term contract or not.
That's exactly right. All of that is absolutely true. And again, I know it doesn't matter in the NFL, but he is under contract to play football this year.
Yep.
$24 million under contract to play football this year. He's here. And I love how we're all, and granted, I'll give him some respect. He is here and he's doing what he's supposed to do with his teammates and helping them out, as Sam Williams mentioned here yesterday. But the man's getting paid. He's getting paid $24 million. It's not like he's here for free. It's not like he's volunteering his time. He's here because he's getting paid to be here. He's under contract.
He's the highest paid coach out there.
Absolutely.
I mean, you could look at it that way. Just a story that is not going to end. If you want to comment on our YouTube page, you could do that. Go to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel on the socials at Joe Reinagle210. Tweet at me at Jason Minix. The station is at SA Sports Star. Now, we're going to have this covered from all angles today. Kristi Scales from the Cowboys Radio Network will join us in about 20 minutes. We also will talk with John Machota from The Athletic and Kavante Turpin around 4:45 at San Antonio time. Yeah.
That'll be a lot of fun. But it is going to be fun today, no doubt about it, because, well, why not? It is the Dallas Cowboys, and that's what happens. And this is our AA Best Bail Bonds Dallas Cowboys training camp coverage live from Oxnard, California. More Cowboys drama coming up right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You know, nobody plans on getting arrested, but it does happen to a lot of people every day for all kinds of reasons. If you get arrested, you want to get out of jail fast because, of course, you do it. You know, the best way to do that is to call my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747, or you can start the bonding process online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else to get out of jail, and you don't want to be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, make sure you truly understand what all those conditions are before accepting it. Your best option for stress-free bail bonds is AA Best Bail Bonds because nobody beats their price. They offer payment plans, have a free shuttle service. They are discreet and confidential and open 24/7. Offices all over San Antonio and Texas. Services nationwide. Up in Dallas, down in Corpus, anywhere in between. License number 149. Call AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121, or go online at mybestbailbonds.com.
AA Best Bail Bonds coverage of Cowboys training camp live from Oxnard, California continues next on South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. Want to see Dallas take on Atlanta at AT&T Stadium? AARP is hooking you up. I want winners. Just head to sasportstar.com and register to win a pair of tickets to the Cowboys' final preseason game, Friday, August 22nd at 6 p.m. Cowboys! It's your chance to catch America's team live before the regular season kicks off. I like this kind of party. From AARP and 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
You know, the Roo Pub is proven to be the best place to watch games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the fights, and when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch a game. Just down from the Big Blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. The Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
Some things can steal your sunshine.
Ugh, I just got my hair done.
Sorry, the cooler's broken. Anyone see my flip-flops? Anyone?
But COVID-19 can steal a lot more.
I just took a COVID test. Ugh.
Prescription medications for COVID exist. If you test positive this summer, ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com/COVID-19 to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on home insurance by checking Allstate first.
Hold it.
Like you know to check the assembly instructions first.
Hold it.
Before building the bookcase.
And done.
Whew. You can let go.
Yeah, checking first is smart.
Ugh.
So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Not available in every state. Potential savings vary. Allstate Vehicle and Property Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-550-8841. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-550-8841. That's 800-550-8841. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at endurancewarranty.com. If you have a 2004 or newer vehicle that's out of warranty or about to be, Endurance is urgently notifying U.S. drivers about their low-cost vehicle coverage plan designed to save drivers thousands on rising vehicle repair costs. Those who qualify can pick their plan, coverage, and repair shop. Roadside service, towing, and rental cars included. All covered repairs get paid directly to the repair shop for you. Call now for your free quote. Call 800-298-7906. 800-298-7906.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com. Attention football fans, AARP Texas is teaming up with San Antonio Sports Star for this season's Dallas Cowboys training camp. Enter for your chance to win a pair of preseason tickets or tickets to a home game. Visit sasportstar.com now to enter for a chance to win. Don't miss out on this opportunity. Brought to you by AARP Texas. Whether you're a diehard fan or just love the excitement of game day, AARP Texas has you covered. Again, just go to sasportstar.com and enter for a chance to win big with AARP Texas. It's your chance to experience Cowboys football live. Visit sasportstar.com now.
It's your city and your budget. Meet us in your neighborhood for a town hall meeting in August to learn about the proposed budget. Find the dates and locations at sa.gov/budget or call 311. See you there.
San Antonio Sports Star, live from Dallas Cowboys training camp, is brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds and sponsored in part by Southern Recipe Pork Rinds, Jim Beam, and AARP on South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
That's a birthday.
It is?
It's a birthday. Yeah.
Oh.
On this day, back in 1981, MTV was launched. So MTV is turning 43 years, and we should thank them for 14 years of music videos.
Isn't that the truth? Now it's all ridiculousnness.
Yeah.
That's all that's ever on MTV every time I turn the damn thing on.
I mean, could we bring back the Headbangers Ball?
Something, right?
Absolutely.
Gee whiz. Unbelievable. Hey, this is the Blitz. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. We are on the tennis courts here in Oxnard, California. Dallas Cowboys training camp coverage brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds. And a lot of fireworks here today, no doubt about it. About 30 minutes ago, Micah Parsons released a statement on Twitter saying he no longer wants to be a Dallas Cowboy.
And he has requested a trade, personally requested it from Stephen Jones. I mean, all right, cool. You requested it. It's bizarre. Well, not bizarre. It's part of the process. I see one of the comments on our YouTube page. Man, Micah's gone. He ain't gone.
He's not going anywhere.
He's not gone. Now, I mean, he could be, but as of today, he is still a member of the Dallas Cowboys. Let's talk about it. He's on socials at Joe Reinigle 210. Tweet at me at Jason Minix. If you're watching on YouTube, you can always comment there. Make sure you subscribe to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel. But this is one of those days where I think we're going to end up taking a lot of calls. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Hey, Eddie, you're on the Blitz. What's up, man?
Yeah.
Eddie.
Yes, sir.
You're on.
All right. I couldn't hear, my bad. No, just a great show, guys. And I just want to say, I actually agree with Joe on this. I know he's been banging the drum for months now on the trading Micah Parsons, if it even happens. Because, I mean, let's be real, man. Like, he's going to suffer the consequences of Dallas giving out bad contracts left and right. And a line in the sand finally had to be drawn. And it sucks that it's going to be him to make the example. But let's be real, man. This guy puts up empty calories against the bad teams left and right. Balloons his stats like no other. Wants Aaron Donald money, but he don't play like Aaron Donald in the big games. Every single time they had a big game or made the playoffs in the recent memory, you needed binoculars to spot his ass because he couldn't do a damn thing.
Eddie, I appreciate the call. Eddie's like, get rid of that dude. I completely disagree with Eddie on the talent that Micah Parsons is.
I love the take, though. That was good.
It was. But, I mean, if we're being honest, and you're right. I mean, Dak takes all the blame. But, in playoff games, I mean, where's Micah been, right? And that's a fair question. But we also know he gets a gazillion double teams. Think about last year when Micah was out, what that defense was like. I mean, what do you? 50% of the defense. I mean, Micah Parsons is the best player on this football team.
Well, I mean, I don't think 50% of the defense. My goodness, that's a little high for anybody. But I understand what you're trying to say. He's a good player, and look, he even missing those 4 games, he managed double-digit sacks. Regular season is not a problem for these Cowboys. It's not. They're pretty good, although they weren't very good last year. However, having said that, they're pretty good in the regular season. It is the playoffs, and look, Eddie had a point. I mean, a lot of people go silent when it comes to the biggest games.
Well, and again, until he gets us there, but you think about J.J. Watt. What did he have opposite of him in his great years, right? There are teams that are players that could fight through it. Micah's been one you've seen double and triple team, and he could still get there. We're talking about what George Pickens can mean for CeeDee Lamb, because we know the coverage that CeeDee got when Jalen Tolbert was the next best wide receiver. This unit looks like it can be that. So I just look at this. I'm thinking some people may undervalue what Micah can mean to the defense. T.J. Watt has never won a playoff game, yet just got another 3-year contract from the Pittsburgh Steelers. What's more important, pass rush or great secondary? The combination of both. How do you trade a player? How do you figure out what a player is worth when you're thinking about Micah Parsons? And you go back to the Khalil Mack deal. You would get at least 2 number ones if you can find a team that's willing to do that.
Well, sure, and then pay him. On top of that, and so all of those things would have to go. Look, he's not going anywhere. The Cowboys have said today, in fact, that they have no intention of trading Micah Parsons. So still believe a deal can get done. It will get done. This is just, again, negotiations. It's part of the game, I think, in the NFL. Terry McLaurin played it yesterday. Micah's playing it today. We'll see how it comes out. But at the end of the day, just wait. When he gets his deal, Jerry Jones is the greatest man to ever live on the face of the earth, and I love the Dallas Cowboys, and I want to be a Cowboy for life.
It'll be all
I can write his speech right now.
Well, and look, a guy that went through it last year in CeeDee Lamb, and you saw what he put on social media today. Just pay the man. Why do we have all the extracurriculars? It's there. Although one of the great things about our country is you can bet on anything, and Vegas already has lines on next teams for Micah Parsons. Raiders at 5-1, Steelers 6-1. Chargers at 7-1, Jets 8-1, Colts 9-1, Green Bay 10-1.
Don't you love Vegas?
I do.
mean, immediately coming out with odds. I think it's fantastic. I love it. It's a great country, man. You can bet on anything. I love that stuff. So, but look, again, Mike is not going anywhere. But it is drama. I don't think the Cowboys. Well, I don't know if the Cowboys don't want this. I'm not sure, because I guarantee you, this is the topic of conversation everywhere around this country right now. That Micah even more so, obviously, than what McLaurin did yesterday. It is Micah Parsons, and it is the Dallas Cowboys, so it's going to get the attention from everybody across the country. We are going to talk with someone who follows the Dallas Cowboys, well, very closely. Yes, Kristi Scales is here, and we're going to get her thoughts on what's going on and taking place today as we continue our AA Best Bail Bonds Dallas Cowboys training camp coverage live from Oxnard, California. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
AA Best Bail Bonds coverage of Cowboys training camp live from Oxnard, California continues next on South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star and the Gomez Law Firm present the second annual Back to School Drive this Saturday from 11 till 1 or while supplies last at the Gomez Law Firm, 2943 Moss Rock Drive. Free backpacks and school supplies for all school-age children while supplies last, so don't be late. This Saturday, 11 till 1, presented by the Gomez Law Firm, 2943 Moss Rock Drive. Sponsored in part by Las Palapas, Array, the College of Healthcare Professionals, and 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
Porn sites in Texas are turned off.
Yes, they are.
Oh,
they are?
The legislation passed a rule that you have to prove your age. And if you haven't proven your age, which nobody wants to put that information out on the porn sites, they lock you out.
In the past, they said, "Are you 21?" And me and all the other 8th graders would say, "Yes."
The John Clay Wolf Show.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
With Progressive, you can reach customer service in the way that's easiest for you, by phone, app, or online. We know it would be great if we just magically appeared, but that's more of a genie thing, and we do insurance. But with us, you'd be like, well, it wasn't a genie, but it was great customer service, so that's nice. And sure, you probably would still like the whole 3 wishes thing, so if you meet a genie, you should definitely ask. But when you need us, contact Progressive by phone, app, or online. Just no genies. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates.
Do you need to get rid of things like furniture, mattresses, tires, and appliances? San Antonio has 4 drop-off centers for residential bulky items conveniently located around the city, open 5 days a week except holidays. Visit sarecycles.org. This service is free for solid waste customers that pay the environmental fee on their CPS energy bill, including customers that live in apartments. Visit sarecycles.org for hours, locations, and accepted materials. That's sarecycles.org.
Now is the perfect time to start on your next success. Apply now and save with no application fee. Classes start August 13th. An accredited state university, University of Maryland Global Campus, offers online and hybrid courses. Plus, you can earn up to 90 credits toward a bachelor's for prior learning and work experience, or transfer up to 12 credits towards a master's. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Shed.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information by dialing 800-924-7415. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify and to get this important free information, call 800-924-7415. 800-924-7415. 800-924-7415.
Injuries happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Quarry area with extended hours Monday through Saturday with on-site x-ray casting and bracing. Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at tsaog.com.
We're definitely going to be late to the concert. I feel like we should be there by now.
I'm just taking a little detour. I got to fill up my gas tank, and I know this place a couple towns over where the gas is cheaper.
Are you serious? We're going to be late for the concert because you're driving out of the way for cheaper gas? Just use Upside.
What's Upside?
Upside is the free cashback app that gets you real cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait, I can get cash back just for buying the gas I need anyway?
Yes, I use it all the time, and I've made around $200. Now pull over so you can download the Upside app before we miss the concert.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas.
use promo code GROW25 to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank, PayPal, or as a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code GROW25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code GROW25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus. That's code GROW25.
San Antonio Sports Star, live from Dallas Cowboys training camp, is brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds and sponsored in part by Southern Recipe Pork Rinds, Jim Beam, and AARP on South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Drama on the tennis courts here in Oxnard as we continue our Dallas Cowboys training camp coverage. What a day. Micah Parsons has requested a trade.
Yeah, and it's interesting. We were talking about during the break, you kind of spoke this into existence. I blame you after last night at Nobu and moving a little slow today. You're like, we need something good to happen. And here we go. Let's talk about it here on the Blitz. Kristi Scales from the Dallas Cowboy Radio Network since 1991.
Oh my gosh!
You've seen all the drama, all of it, all the drama.
Yeah, hired straight out of kindergarten. I just want to make that note regarding 1991.
I think it was before pre-K.
Yes, there you go. Thank you very much. This everything had been going too smoothly during camp, apparently. And I'm glad that you guys just kind of went from Nobu to here and didn't mention in between. So, the
rudder room?
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Did y'all already talk about that?
No,
okay.
but I mean, I think our audience, knows that every night ends at the rudder room.
There we go.
Yeah.
Okay. Did y'all just come straight here from rudder room or
not
even hit the hotel?
We went back to the house and slept a little bit.
Took a nap.
Here
we are.
Yeah.
No, but Joe did speak it into existence.
I did.
In.
Yeah,
Joe. I just said we need some drama today. Well, it'd be funny if Micah requested a trade because Terry McLaurin did that yesterday.
Well, also Myles Garrett had done it, and it worked for Myles Garrett.
Yeah.
And he's the one that at least for a month had set the standard for the elite pass rushers at $40 million a year, and then it's eclipsed by T.J. Watt. And so Micah probably sees that and decides that he's, getting impatient and let's get something moving. But it's a very risky thing because there are real ramifications here. I know the Cowboys have said that they're, Micah's not being traded. But if Micah leaves camp, then you've got 5 days. And if he doesn't return in 5 days, then there are some serious repercussions that the Cowboys could basically use a nuclear option and place him on the reserve retired list. And it's not just that you're fined $50,000 a day for the 5 days or however long that you leave camp, but if a team places you on reserve retired because he had already come to camp, then he would not be eligible to play for the Cowboys or any other team for this entire season. And that goes beyond just this year because that affects your accrued service. So he's also losing a year towards free agency. So he doesn't have control and he doesn't have a lot of options here. And by exercising this thing and, requesting a trade, I think he's playing his hand really early in this because the Joneses may not do it on the timeline that we all think they should do things. Certainly the players who want that bonus money and the guaranteed money as quickly as possible. Certainly not by media and fan standards who get very frustrated of, we know it's going to be just over $41 million a year, so just get it done. A little more complex than that.
Yes, it is.
But the Joneses ultimately get it done. So am I surprised that Micah has requested the trade? Not really, but I think more of the timing is a little surprising for me.
Kristi Scales from the Dallas Cowboys Radio Network here on the Blitz, and all of it seems par for the course for the way the Cowboys do business. You see other teams that try to get deals done early and timing, but it feels more personal with Micah, especially with his tweet today.
Sure, prideful guy.
Has it gone too personal from Micah's side, and how personal is it from Jerry's side, thinking he had maybe a handshake deal with Micah?
I find more commas and higher numbers in front of the commas when it comes to contract tend to to paste over those kinds of personal feelings.
Yeah.
Right.
But here's the thing: you say that the team doesn't get it done. Well, they've got Jake Ferguson done, and they do get them done. But when the guys, the CD Lambs, when the Dak Prescotts, when the Micah Parsons, who truly are, going to be the highest paid at their position. I know that Jamar Chase is higher paid than CD Lamb, but these are really,
right.
very significant contracts. There's just more to it than that, and it has to do with when the bonuses count, and they're playing chess while the rest of us are playing checkers, saying, okay, it's going to be $41 or $42 million a year. It's how it's going to hit the cap on certain years and where bonuses come in, and like what they did with Trayvon Diggs with the de-escalator.
Yeah.
With the $500,000, they, when they're investing in the big money and like the Diggs of the world and CD and they, by the way, there's a de-escalator in Jake Ferguson's contract as well.
Yeah.
The new one that he just signed. So there's a lot more to it than just pay the man. It's going to average out this. No, it's how you're doing the numbers so that you can make subsequent moves to fill the rest of your roster.
Well, and Kristi, not only that, and Micah in his statement today admitted that his agent advised him to wait.
Yes.
And so, I mean,
and the Cowboys know that they're waiting.
Exactly.
So it's like, why aren't you doing anything? They know that nothing, they know they got to wait. And Hendrickson still doesn't have his done, right? Now, not that Hendrickson would top TJ Watt or Miles, but it may get close to that. So not everything has played out yet.
On the football field, we had a caller earlier say he's not that good anyway. He doesn't show up in the playoffs, all that. Can you put into words what Micah Parsons means to this Dallas Cowboys defense?
First of all, the team has to get in the playoffs before Micah can show up in the playoffs. So it's significant just because it affects everything else. And gosh, I think the pass rush, Micah comes back and just getting Dante Fowler back from Washington. Ezeraku, I think, is going to be a real revelation. Maybe not early in the season, but as the season goes on, if he could stay healthy, the rookie second-round pick from Boston College. But what you can do with Micah is, my favorite thing from the sideline is when I don't see Micah right on the edge, closer to me, when I see him over the A-gap, when he's mugging over the center and that pressure up the middle, oh my gosh. So the ability to move him around, I think, is really significant. And the other thing is, I was just real excited. I'm still excited because I think it's going to work out. Micah's going to be suited up for week 1. But the way Eberflus, I think he has some really special things planned in ways that he's going to utilize his pass rushers and some specific things in mind for Micah. So, that's why this needs to get done sooner rather than later, so that there's plenty of time for Feathers to be unruffled and have a positive attitude heading into regular season, because we know Micah's not going to play in preseason anyway, as the regular starters will not, but he still needs to get some work. It's one thing to be standing out on the field here in Oxnard and helping some of the young guys, but it's not like DeMarvion Overshone. He's not practicing as he's, rehabbing from his knee injury, but he's back standing next to Matt Eberflus behind the back judge, in the back of the end zone, and listening to all of the calls and trying to understand the defense and the concepts and why Flus is calling certain things that he does during practice. So there are things that you can do even if you're not participating in the reps. Those kinds of, mental reps that you can still get a lot out of practice.
Kristi, you've been with the Cowboys for some time now. So Stephen and Jerry get this statement today, or the request for a trade. What is typically their response? Because this doesn't happen a lot here with the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, we were trying to think of that, because even when Emmett missed those first 2 games back in '93. First 2 regular season games, don't ever recall an actual trade request. We were just talking about that in the media tent. Folks, we're like 10 yards away from where the rest of the media is gathered. And a lot of us have been on the beat for many years. And we were just trying to put our heads together of like, when have actual trade requests happened?
I
It's
can't
gotten
think of the
kind of
last time.
ugly in negotiations at times, but we couldn't really off the tops of our heads think of trade requests. So I don't think that the Joneses are surprised by this. It's been murmured for the last couple days there could be a trade request coming. They know that Micah is a very prideful person, and nothing wrong with that. But if anybody thinks that this is threatening to the Joneses or will have them alter what they have in their mind anyway for what they want to do, I think that they don't know the Joneses.
True. Kristi Scales joining us here on the Blitz, and you say it that way. I was trying to envision, because Micah said he personally requested it to Stephen Jones. So does he go to Stephen's room here at the complex, knock on the door, and say, I want to trade? And Stephen's, I was just trying to visualize. What do you think that conversation was like?
There is an office here where we're in a hotel complex that's an extended stay kind of complex. So it's basically kind of like apartment buildings.
Yep.
And so, yes, the executives each have one of the hotel rooms that is set up as an office. So, in fact, I was just talking with Stephen's executive assistant today. We were talking about going to a concert later this weekend. It wasn't anything about football, but did he physically walk into that room? I'm not sure. It could have happened on a golf cart, Stephen's golf cart. It could have happened in the area where the team eats. It could have happened on the Cowboy bus, but I would not be surprised if he actually walked into that room, because we're all in here together. So just think if everybody were in like a compound, literally in this complex, we're all here together. This year it happens to be 26 days, so everyone has access to all the other areas.
Kristi, when you look at it, and CD Lamb responded to this saying, just pay the man. What does this do, you think, to the locker room?
I think that players understand that business is business, and they're certainly going to show their support for Micah. So, but CD, Dak, these guys, they know what it's like negotiating with the Joneses, or their agents do the negotiations. So let's be clear on that. But I think the only real way it affects the work at camp is that they have to deal with all the questions that are going to be asked. I mean, Kyer Elam is doing a press conference today, and literally the tweet comes out while Kyer is up on the podium answering questions, and then he has to answer a question about it. And certainly it affects, it's going to affect the team a lot if Micah, if it doesn't get worked out. But the longer that he's not on the field during training camp getting practice reps, in a way it's good for the younger guys because they're getting those reps. But for the betterment of the team, the faster that Micah gets on the field and gets into game shape, because CD talked about it a lot, that missing training camp last year hurt his play early in the season. And not just physically getting back into game shape, but even though he's been with Dak his entire career, you don't just pick it up like that, right? So, just some of the timing and some of the nuance and things like that. So it hurt the Cowboys passing game, especially early last year, CD missing that time. And it would be the same if Dak doesn't get any practice reps heading into the regular season for the defense.
Most people listening right now are Cowboy fans and Spurs fans.
Sure.
You live in Dallas. What would the Metroplex be like if in the same calendar year, Micah gets traded a couple of months after Luka got traded?
Apoplectic. I'm still apoplectic over Luka.
Yes.
And I will tell you the number of Mavericks fans that were, I won't say angry. Well, some of them were angry when the team with a 0.8% chance or 1.8% chance of getting the first overall pick and get the pick in the draft and get Cooper Flagg, and now Nico Harrison looks like a genius. Well, I won't say a genius, but Nico gets bailed out by getting Cooper Flagg, and people are upset about that. So me too a little bit. It's like, God, Nico, Anyway, but the good thing about the Mavericks and Luka was that for at least 5 months, Jerry was not the most reviled general manager in Dallas. But if this doesn't get straightened out with Micah, he'll be back to number one with a, at the top of the pops.
It's crazy when you think about that. And I saw, I mean, it's all fun, but I know Jerry took some blame for trading Luka as well because he's Jerry.
Oh my gosh, it's just it's so crazy. And I mean, my perspective's a little different. Obviously, I mean, I have to interview Jerry pregame every week, and I'm, you know, um, as in, staff can go about as close to the Joneses, especially Charlotte, as you can get, because we do a lot of stuff together with the Cowboys cheerleaders, and then a lot of charitable work with the Medal of Honor Museum and things like that. So I kind of see it from a different perspective, but then I hear all the, I get it from friends and family and fans and everything else. So I hear it all, and I understand, and I know that it's very frustrating, but just take that frustration and know that it's not as simple as 42 million a year or whatever it's going to be. You have to let this play out, because right now Micah's playing on the 5th-year option,
Right.
and it's going to count $24 million against the cap. If they get this long-term deal done, it's actually going to, I think it'll lower that cap, right? Because it'll be a lower base salary. They'll be able to take the huge bonus and spread it out over the length of the contract. So I think if everybody remains patient, which is hard to do, they're going to be actually in a better cap situation for the immediate future. Now, kicking the can down the road 2 or 3 years, that'll be a different conversation. But can we just get to September for right now?
I'd like to do that. Kristi, let me ask you, because you mentioned you interviewed Jerry on a weekly basis, and with the Cowboys the way they are, I personally like Jerry Jones. I like him a lot. I like the way he treats the media, and I like the way he makes money. It's what he does. But I get hammered a lot whenever I take up for him, because fans are just like, the guy's a billionaire, just pay the guy. And you mentioned some of that. How do you deal with that? Obviously, you work for the Cowboys. How do you deal with that?
Yeah, they're just the people that don't like Jerry Jones have not met Jerry Jones, because he's endearing, he's charming. I always joke that he could sell sand to Saudi Arabia.
Yes.
And there are a lot of things that Jerry and the Jones family do behind the scenes. They're fiercely loyal to staff, and there are so many kind things that are done that aren't spoken of publicly. Funerals paid for of staff members, and we had a player, well-known player back in the 90s, whose son had a very debilitating and rare form of juvenile arthritis. And on the off days, back then it was either Monday or Tuesday, players day off, and Jerry made his private plane available to this player, the son and the mother, and they would fly to different places in the country on Jerry's dime to meet with different specialists in juvenile arthritis. And I mean, I could tell you 1,000 of these stories, and no one talks about that. And that's okay, because the Joneses don't want it talked about. But what fans care about is what's on the field.
Yep.
And it's 29 years since the last NFC Championship game, and Washington getting there, and then now Cowboys are like last on the list. That it makes it tough. So I think that here's my stance on Jerry Jones. If you want to criticize him as a general manager, absolute fair play, because we can go down the list and see all the things. Should have done this, should have done that. But the personal attacks, I think, are unfounded, because if you don't know him personally and know all of the things that the Joneses have done, and I don't just mean for staff members or former players, but in the community, I think a lot of the criticism on him personally is very unfair.
Kristi Scales joining us here on the Blitz 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. Because of the Micah drama, that's obviously dominating every conversation. But real quick, out here at camp, just the vibe is so different than it was a year
Great,
ago.
isn't it? Entertaining. We're not bored yet.
Entertaining, crazy, but players seem to be buying into Brian Schottenheimer as the head coach. But as you're out there watching all the practices and all the people that you get to visit with, who are some early standouts that might surprise people listening right now?
Well, Kyer Elam. I think, people have read or heard about, his interceptions and the like, but boy, is he going to be crucial, especially with Trayvon rehabbing, and Siobhan Revel, may not be out there at the beginning of the season, the rookie from East Carolina. And at cornerback, Keemon Hall, who has been playing inside behind Deron Bland. But all of these injuries that we have at cornerback, Deron may have to move to the outside. So Hall might be really crucial on the inside. So, the running backs, I'm really intrigued. I'm really intrigued by that. And I don't know how much we're going to see of the veterans, if at all, Williams and Miles Sanders in the preseason. We may not even see Hunter Lipke in the preseason. But I think the run game is going to be a lot better for the Cowboys this year, but mainly because of a better offensive line. Now, I say that, and Tyler Guyton's out, and now maybe Tyler Smith is dealing with some stuff. Anyway. But the thing I noticed the first week of camp is they started using some jumbo packages earlier than what you've seen in camp. I'm just concerned about the depth at cornerback, and then let's see what else. Well, the attrition at offensive line early, but I'm intrigued. But oh my gosh, was Pickens just spectacular?
Oh yeah,
in camp yesterday. Some of these Mingo, a couple of really nice contested catches. Get to see his size. I didn't think anyone think that Mingo would be a standout at this point of camp, and hadn't really until the last couple days. But I really like this young group coming in. But here's the thing: it is such a killer schedule.
Oh,
I think the team is going to be better this year, but I don't know if that's going to be reflected in the standings and the win-loss column. But Schottenheimer has brought a renewed energy. And when I talk about this in the offseason, I'm not just talking about with the players and coaching staff. I'm talking about football ops. I'm talking about the corner of the building, the people those of us that have been there for over 30 years, equipment managers, trainers, the office, football ops people. It's a palpable change, and everyone's very excited about it. And they were particularly excited about the way that Schottenheimer went about building the staff. You've got some guys from college, but they're all kind of thrown together. It's not just, hey, I'm bringing in my old buddy and this guy, and we work together. It's an interesting mix of youthful coaches and a few experienced guys, but we can see their enthusiasm on the field, and I'm told that it's the same way in the meeting rooms as well.
Outstanding. Awesome.
Kristi? Always fun stuff. I know you've got a busy schedule, and we're up against a break. We could do this all day.
All day.
Yeah,
all
thanks
day.
for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming in.
You
We
bet.
appreciate it.
You bet. Okay.
All right, Kristi Scales, sideline reporter for Dallas Cowboys Radio, joining us here on the Blitz, our AA Best Bail Bonds Dallas Cowboys training camp coverage, live from Oxnard, California, continues in just a moment. This is the Blitz on 94.1.
AA Best Bail Bonds coverage of Cowboys training camp live from Oxnard, California continues next on South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
180!
Get it first. Get it fast. Get it now. Full coverage of Dallas Cowboys training camp brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds and sponsored in part by Southern Recipe Pork Rinds, Jim Beam, and AARP. Live from Oxnard, California. KTFM Floresville, South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Free products and services are the best. They're next to non-existent though. But the next best thing does exist. Barter. Alamo Barter. Right here in San Antonio, if you have a business and provide a product or service, you can barter with hundreds of other businesses that are already members. From trips to a medical visit, restaurants and home services, Alamo Barter is a great way for you to trade out your skills with others. Call Alamo Barter or visit them online at alamobarter.com. alamobarter.com.
With Progressive, you can reach customer service in the way that's easiest for you, by phone, app, or online. We know it would be great if we just magically appeared, but that's more of a genie thing, and we do insurance. But with us, you'd be like, well, it wasn't a genie, but it was great customer service, so that's nice. And sure, you probably would still like the whole 3 wishes thing, so if you meet a genie, you should definitely ask. But when you need us, contact Progressive by phone, app, or online. Just no genies. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Hunger striking, snack time calling, it's crunch time. Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds brings you the boldest protein-packed crunch you can't resist with mouth-watering flavors like hot honey, sweet barbecue, and sea salt and cracked black pepper. Why settle for chips when you can level up your snacking game? Plus, they're low-carb, high-protein, and made for adventurous appetites. Score big flavor today. Grab Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds at H-E-B.
Attention football fans, AARP Texas is teaming up with San Antonio Sports Star for this season's Dallas Cowboys training camp. Enter for your chance to win a pair of preseason tickets or tickets to a home game. Visit sasportsstar.com now to enter for a chance to win. Don't miss out on this opportunity. Brought to you by AARP Texas. Whether you're a diehard fan or just love the excitement of game day, AARP Texas has you covered. Again, just go to sasportsstar.com and enter for a chance to win big with AARP Texas. It's your chance to experience Cowboys football live. Visit sasportsstar.com now.
When you bundle renters and auto with Progressive, you can save while protecting your most valuable possessions, like your really expensive limited edition sneakers and your new suit for your cousin's wedding. Except you never actually bought the suit because you can't stop buying sneakers. So you show up to the wedding looking like you're going grocery shopping. But hey, at least your sneakers will look good in the pictures, until you're cropped out of every last one of them. So go ahead and get Progressive, so you can save while protecting the things that matter to you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Skin looking and feeling tight, irritated, dry, or just meh? Maybe your skincare routine is missing a crucial step. Meet the Calming Mist Toner from Pharmaceris with hyaluronic acid to deeply hydrate and prebiotics to support your skin's barrier. Just a few soothing sprays after washing your face balances your skin's pH and helps the skincare products you use after work better. Dermatologist developed and known worldwide for premium quality, gentle, effective skincare, Pharmaceris is finally available in the U.S. on Amazon. Real users rave about the Pharmaceris Mist Toner. It actually helped reduce redness. It's so gentle and never leaves my skin feeling dry or tight. The calming properties are amazing. I can feel it. Try the Pharmaceris Calming Mist Toner today and see why it's the skincare step you've been missing. Pharmaceris Calming Mist Toner is available on Amazon for only $14.99. Use promo code SKINMIST to save 20%. That's Pharmaceris, PHARMACERIS, and use code SKINMIST to save 20%.
Find what you love and love what you find. A Total Wine and More, the place to go for sipping rosés with seltzers on ice, making margaritas with your favorite tequilas. It's warm out, let's go. Our prices are low on spirits, beer, and wine. You're gonna find what you love and love what you find.
Only at Total Wine and More. Drink responsibly. B21.
It's back to school season, and Clorox is donating 2 million disinfecting wipes to classrooms across America. Because back to school means things can get a little bit messy. Just ask second grade teacher Mr. Torres.
Put me and just one Clorox wipe on a team? We can take on crayon smudges, sticky fingerprints on every surface, sneezes on the door handle, juice box explosion by the sink, snack crumbs, and don't even get me started on the bathroom passes.
Clorox disinfecting wipes. Teacher's #1 wipe.
Think about it. Bathroom passes.
Clean feels good. Based on unit sales data.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want to boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Turn things all the way up and find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
It is the news of the day. Cowboys pass rusher Micah Parsons has officially requested a trade from the Dallas Cowboys. Micah released a statement today saying, in part, "Unfortunately, I no longer want to be here. I no longer want to be held to closed-door negotiations without my agent present." Of course, Micah Parsons is seeking a contract extension from the Cowboys. And, of course, that comes one day after Terry McLaurin with the Commanders did the same thing.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas Authority in Barricade Rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons, the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
And our final day in Oxnard, California at Dallas Cowboys training camp. We're going out with a bang, that's for sure. A lot of drama happening here at Cowboys training camp, brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagel. Jason Minix is right here, and Micah Parsons would rather be somewhere else.
You know, we had football on last night, a preseason game that, 8 people watched. But in reality, today should be our first football Friday because we've got football every weekend until February. But instead, we get fireworks Friday from one Micah Parsons.
Yes.
Now, it was certainly in the playbook. But is it too early to run this play for Micah Parsons? And I say that, and I've had some people sending direct messages. Hey, you guys were at the Jerry party last night, and we know everything there is off the record. What can you tell me? Well, it's off the record. But I can honestly say, like, we had great conversations with Stephen Jones. We were with Jerry Jones. You could see the photos. And nothing was said about Micah that hasn't been said about timing and all that sort of stuff. So, no, there was no big scoop, although because the media party was last night and this morning, it started with Diana Rossini saying, little birdie's telling me that he's going to request a trade. And then, boom, here comes his post. But I don't think it came from Malibu last night, or at least not certainly I heard.
No, it did not, which was a lot of fun, by the way. It's a shame we're not talking about that.
It really is.
But I get that.
Damn it, Micah.
Look, and with all of this drama, what has changed? Nothing.
Nothing.
Not a damn thing has changed. The Cowboys aren't going to trade Micah Parsons. They're not going to do that. They will end up getting a deal done. But if anything, and you mentioned this in the break, if anything, this might have just pushed it back further for Micah. Because can you imagine Jones' family right now saying, okay, we got your deal right here. Here we go. Then every player on this team would do the same thing.
Yeah, well, one, look, the narrative is what? Jerry will wait and ultimately cave. And he's going to end up getting all the money that we've been talking about, right? It's in the playbook, is it not? Right? But if you think that Steven got the request from Micah, whether Micah walked into his office, his hotel room, the bus, the meeting room, sent a text, whatever it was, Steven didn't immediately say, oh, no, Adam, get on the phone with David and get this worked out. Oh, because, well, optics are what they are. But I can tell you one thing, the Cowboys aren't going to make it look like they just caved that easily. They got to drag it out before it looks like they caved.
Well, exactly. and the optics for the Cowboys, if they were to cave today, would be just, it would be horrible for them. And you can't do that because that would be now in the playbook. And what I find fascinating is the fact that this has not happened. There's not a big history of this happening with the Dallas Cowboys, players requesting trades. Look, I think Dak knew what was going to happen. He knew eventually he'd get paid, so he never resorted to the threats. CeeDee Lamb never requested a trade. Eventually, he figured it would get done, and it did. And I think Micah, yes, is a little premature in what he's doing here. And to me, it's just nothing more throwing a little temper tantrum. Well, the guy's making $24 million this year, all right? Most people would die to make $24 million. And look, he's got to play. I get what he wants, a contract extension. I get it. But I got news for you, Micah. You are under contract right now. Play football.
Well, and again, some serious ramifications for Micah if he were to leave camp. By all accounts, he is still here at the complex in Oxnard, California. And that's the other thing that is surprising because he did show up. If he were to leave after 5 days, the Cowboys could royally mess up his world.
Yes.
I don't see that happening. But let's look at real facts. The Dallas Cowboys control Micah's rights for at the very least the next 3 years. He's under contract this year. He can get tagged next year, and he could get tagged the year after that. And those tag numbers are far lower than the $42 million we think he's going to get, or the neighborhood of $42 million, because the franchise tag for a defensive end is mid to high 20s, like 26, 27 million, somewhere in there. So, And just because he has requested a trade doesn't mean the Dallas Cowboys have to actually go trade him. This isn't the NBA where you see a guy demand a trade and then demand where he wants to go. See De'Aaron Fox, right? That's not what happens here in the NFL. So you can request a trade all day. Terry McLaurin can request a trade all day. That's just a public way of saying I'm pissed off.
Exactly.
And you keep the conversation going. This is Micah's way of showing his frustration, which up until then, I give Micah Parsons a lot of credit for handling everything the right way as far as being here and everything that he said when camp first opened.
No, absolutely. Look, he is just a little he's throwing a little temper tantrum. That's what he's doing. Nothing has changed. There's not a damn thing that's changed today that was going on yesterday. Everything's still the same. Cowboys still have the leverage. Micah's going to play football. All of that's going to happen, and eventually he's going to get a new contract. That will all happen. Nothing has really changed today. I just find it fascinating. And I love Micah being transparent in his statement. I think some of it was BS as far as I'm concerned, but some of it kind of lets you see. His agent advised him to wait on a contract until other guys have signed. We've talked about that a million times. Everybody wants to blame Jerry Jones for everything, and it's always Jerry's fault. But in this situation, according to Micah Parsons, his agent advised him to wait and let some of these other guys sign.
And again, that's why you have an agent. It makes sense. And again, I will take Micah at his word, although I don't necessarily believe him. But let's just say, he said he would have left money on the table. When you hear a Stephen Jones say he's going to want to get paid, then you go, okay, he's asking for too much. Although, and we've talked about this a lot, the one thing about this negotiation in the media that we haven't heard are real numbers, real years, which is odd.
Yeah.
Because typically, if the numbers are disrespectful to the player, the agent will say, are you kidding? They want to do this kind of deal. Or, if the player is asking for way too much, the team will say, this guy's wanting this. And then the public would go, oh, there's no way he's worth that. And that's how things get out in the media. That hasn't happened here. And based on this statement from Micah Parsons, it's because numbers haven't been traded. There doesn't appear to have been a request from Micah's agent or an offer even from the Dallas Cowboys.
Well, okay. According to Jerry, there has been. And even Mike admitted that they talked numbers in March.
Formal offer with an agent.
Formal offer hasn't been submitted. But Jerry, I truly believe, thought that they had a deal, or at least the foundation of a deal. When he and Micah talked, and this was back in March. And I think that's part of the problem in Jerry's mind, is that he's a little bit pissed off because he thought he had a deal. And then all of a sudden, there is no deal, and we got to talk to agents. And I get that. Trust me, I don't blame Micah for that, because that's why you have an agent. Not blaming him for that. So I think there's two sides to blame here. And I just find it comical that everybody just wants to pile on Jerry Jones, and it's always his fault, when in essence, it's not entirely anyway.
Well, I mean, it takes two. And for Micah to say he didn't know that was a negotiation with the conversations he was having with Jerry. Micah is not an unintelligent person. If you're talking what you want in a contract, and he writes that today on social media, and to the point where Jerry thought they had a deal, my guess is they talked dollars and they talked years, and Jerry agreed to it. Handshake deal.
Right.
Old school. And Micah saying he didn't know that was a deal is as believable, or a negotiation, to me is as believable as Diggs not knowing that he had a de-escalator in his contract. I don't buy that either.
No, of course not. He knew. Everybody, and they've all got it. Jake Ferguson's new contract has the same de-escalator in it, and most of them do. So Trayvon knew. And look, it's all of this is just a game, and I find it comical and yet very entertaining, to be honest with you. But I do think Micah is a little bit premature in his trade request. Now, Terry McLaurin, I don't know that much about what's going on in Washington with Terry, but I'm sure it's along the same lines as what we're dealing with here. But to request a trade this early, in fact, in training camp is, I think, a little bit premature.
210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. If you want to talk about it, your reaction to the Micah bombshell today, you can call us. You can tweet us at Joe Reinagle 210, at Jason Minix. If you're watching on YouTube, comment there. Comments are going too fast to read them all for me while we're talking, so I'll go over some of those during the break. But a lot of people have their comments there on the YouTube channel. Some of them look rather entertaining. So go check out the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel. We'll talk more about this. Our good friend John Machota from The Athletic will join us here on the tennis courts. And at about 4:45, Gavante Turpin is going to speed by here and join us.
We might actually talk some football with Gavante.
Or contracts.
Or
football.
Or racing. Who knows?
A little bit of everything.
All of the above with Gavante Turpin. That's coming up about 4:45. As our AA Best Bail Bonds Dallas Cowboys training camp coverage continues live from Oxnard, California, this is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Coverage of Cowboys training camp live from Oxnard, California continues next on South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star and the Gomez Law Firm present the second annual Back to School Drive this Saturday from 11 till 1 p.m. or while supplies last at the Gomez Law Firm, 2943 Moss Rock Drive. Free backpacks and school supplies for all school-age children while supplies last, so don't be late. Presented by the Gomez Law Firm, 2943 Moss Rock Drive. Sponsored in part by North Park Toyota, Centromed, Romo Door Supply, Lighthouse Public Schools, and 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Some things can steal your sunshine.
Ugh, I just got my hair done.
Sorry, the cooler's broken. Anyone see my flip-flops? Anyone?
But COVID-19 can steal a lot more.
I just took a COVID test. Ugh.
Prescription medications for COVID exist. If you test positive this summer, ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com/COVID-19 to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
The back-to-school deals at Kohl's are so good, it'll feel like spoiling yourself. With 20% off the stuff your kids will actually wear, like jeans, tees, sneakers, and more. You can do it all without overdoing your budget. See? Sometimes parents get spoiled too. Head to Kohl's or Kohls.com to start the year off right for less. Select styles. Coupon ends August 10th. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohls.com for details.
Game day starts at home, and Romo Door Supply delivers the win. From sturdy entrance doors to stylish interiors, Romo's got what your home team needs. Visit RomoDoorSupply.com. Quality doors, unbeatable prices. That's RomoDoorSupply.com.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jason Garrett with Arasti. If you're tired of pain slowing you down from a recent injury or something that's been nagging you for years, we can help. At Arasti, we've earned the trust of over 8,000 physicians by delivering fast, lasting pain relief without painkillers or surgery. Our hands-on approach targets the root cause of pain, and most patients see results in just one visit. No referral needed, and it's covered by most insurance plans. So don't wait. Visit Arasti.com. That's AIRROSTI.com. Arasti. We fix pain fast.
You know, the Roo Pub is proven to be the best place to watch games with those three massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the fights, and when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch a game. Just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. The Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. With that kind of money, you could go big time. The next time you're out to dinner with friends, you can order the shrimp cocktail for the table. And maybe you'll realize it only comes with 4 shrimp after you've already given away 3, but that one shrimp will be so good. And if you switch and save hundreds, you could get shrimp all the time. Switch to Progressive and you could save big time for shrimp. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Potential savings will vary.
Man, look at that return of the old king, man. Oh, wow. Emotional.
King of the Hill is back.
They got a Bob's in the airport now. Oh, that's Boba.
World has changed, Dad.
Bobby wants to bring that new girl over for dinner.
The Vegas? What the hell am I supposed to feed her?
Can't we just put some grass in a bowl?
From Mike Judge and Greg Daniels.
Ready to make some memories, Dad?
Let's freaking go.
A Hulu original series, King of the Hill. Season premiere August 4th, streaming on Hulu.
If Twisted Tea was your best friend, they'd start a dance party in the supermarket that turns into a pool party at your place, and you don't even own a pool. Twisted Tea is smooth, refreshing, and always fun. Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Keep it twisted.
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
Got wrecked? Got a pain in your neck? Thomas J. Henry is your next call. Thomas J. Henry has put over $1 billion in our clients' pockets in just 4 years. And we can help you too. Just look at our over 14,000 five-star reviews. The numbers and our clients speak for themselves. So if you've been in a car accident, visit thomasjhenrylaw.com today. Thomas J. Henry, the name you know, the firm you trust. Principal office in San Antonio.
Eat up, buddy. It's almost time for school.
You take charge of your home. You take charge of your work. Don't forget to take charge of your gut health too with Nature Made Probiotics. Nature Made has clinically studied probiotics that work with your digestive tract's natural bacteria, so you won't miss a beat in your daily routine. Find us in the vitamin aisle. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
San Antonio Sports Star, live from the Dallas Cowboys training camp, is brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds and sponsored in part by Southern Recipe Pork Rinds, Jim Beam, and AARP on South Texas, home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You know, I love the comments in our YouTube page, Jason. San Antonio Sports Star. Go there, like, subscribe, and you can comment as well. Claymore, Micah gets signed by tomorrow. Drinks on me at the next Blitz remote location.
You talk about a safe bet. Let's throw that out there, Claymore, because, he ain't going to get signed by tomorrow. Or, by the way, next Thursday we'll be at Retama Park. Just saying. You look at all of this, and again, some of it, I know we have smart listeners, but sometimes, like Fred Caceres writes on our YouTube channel, great that Micah is asking for a trade. I believe he should play out his contract and at the end of the season, decline whatever they offer him and become a free agent. Jerry can tag him. Jerry can tag him twice. Jerry controls Micah Parsons' future for at the very least the next 3 years.
Absolutely correct. He did the same thing. He did that exactly thing with Dak Prescott. And it worked out pretty well for old Dak, though. Now still, as we stand today, the highest paid player in NFL history. So, look, Micah just needs to be patient. And why he's choosing now to come out and release a statement that he wants to get traded is just, I don't understand it, quite frankly. He's been here. He's seen Dak get paid. He's seen CD get paid. He's got to know that he's going to get paid. And I just, I don't understand this. If he's trying to help speed the process along or whatever the case is, I'm just not sure why he's doing this and why he chose today. Was it Terry McLaurin? Did he see that yesterday and say, well, hey, that's a great idea, Jim?
It is possible. It is the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. It's a Friday. It's already the 1st of August. Back
Unbelievable.
to school.
Wow.
I mean, kids are going to be at school soon. Tomorrow, August 2nd. Tomorrow is August 2nd. We're having our annual back-to-school drive-through event. 11 a.m. is when it will get started. Scheduled from 11 to 1 or until supplies run out. This is happening over at the Gomez Law Firm on Moss Rock Road. Free backpack and school supplies while they last. Presented by the Gomez Law Firm, Air Ray, North Park Toyota, Las Palapas, Romo Door Supply, Central Med, and the College of Healthcare Professionals, Lighthouse Public Schools. So if with kiddos need backpacks, free backpacks, drive-through event. Very cool. You drive in, you don't have to get out of your car. They'll hand you a backpack and you keep driving. Last year, people were lining up like at 9 a.m. So get over there early. Last year we ran out. We ordered more, but just saying.
We're going to run out again.
We're going to run out again.
Yeah, that's going to happen.
Absolutely. You want to react to the Micah trade request? 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Gary, you're on the Blitz. What's going on, man?
Guys, I've been listening to y'all for the last almost hour, and you guys are hitting the nail right on the head. Gary's got him by the cojones. He can't. What's he going to do? He's just kind of making himself look very immature. And if Micah was in a closed-door meeting talking to Jerry, and Jerry was just playing him like a fiddle, first thing he did when he went back and talked to his agent probably said, hold up, homeboy, pump your brakes. Pump your brakes. I know what's going on in the league with Myles Garrett and all these other guys, man. There's money to be made. Now, if you want to jump the gun and try and sign something, you're going to lose millions of dollars. Let me do what I do. And you'll be happy in the end. Or you can cry like a little baby, get paid $20 million less than you should have gotten paid. So what do you want to do? And Micah's like, well, I want to get my money. You're getting $24 million. Calm down. Oh, it's just so pitiful.
Gary, well said, my friend. Well said.
Great call. That is for sure. Javier, you're on the Blitz. What's up, man?
Guys, first of all, let me tell you, I really enjoy your show. I listen every time a chance I get. I think the Cowboys is this. There's more to the Cowboys than just Micah Parsons right now. I love listening to you guys because you talk football, you talk basketball, you talk all kinds of sports, except when you get to Oxnard. And then for the next week, all we're going to hear about is the Cowboys. Gosh, I hope we don't hear about this again tomorrow, and then the next day, and then the following day.
You won't hear it.
We all know.
You won't hear it tomorrow or the next day.
Okay, on Monday. He's having a tantrum. He's having a tantrum. They're not going to trade him. We all know that. Okay, now let's agree. Now, can we talk about another part of the team? Can we talk about maybe college football? Can we talk about rumors? There's all kinds of rumors in the NBA, too. We got all kinds of stuff we could talk about.
And Javier, we've done all that this week, but today's Micah. You want to know the position group? Kavontae Turpin will join us live at about 4:45. We'll talk wide receivers and speed.
And if we ever have a producer opening, we'll give you a call.
Absolutely. Hey, JT, you're on the Blitz. What's up, man?
Hey, man, I was just going to say that. That dude before sounds like a producer. Golly. Anyways, man, that Micah Parsons, I mean, when I was hearing him before saying he was a team player and he's going to come in and just be the role model and whatnot, I just think he's full of crap, man. I think he runs hot. He runs at the mouth, just like his podcast in his closet. I don't think the Cowboys are going to do anything anyway while they have Dak Prescott as quarterback. So if they were to trade him to a contender and get some picks or get some draft capital, I think that'll be better than paying him and then going, 6-8 or whatever it is when Dak underperforms and they start having fictitious injuries to roll out the season, man. That's all I got.
I appreciate it,
Thanks
JT,
for the call.
although this isn't the NBA. Get traded to a contender. They'll trade him to whoever's going to get the best deal. But, again, I don't see him getting traded at all.
And Frank Mateo, he's not going to the Commanders. I can guarantee you that.
Wow.
It will not be the Commanders, the Eagles, or the Giants if that were to happen. I promise you, okay?
It's crazy. We'll get the thoughts of one John Machota on this coming up as I see John walking there. Well, now he's walking in behind us.
He's walking in behind us.
John Machota's got Kavontae Turpin speed.
With the Athletic. He's going to join us next as we continue our AA Best Bail Bonds Dallas Cowboys training camp coverage live from Oxnard, California.
AA Best Bail Bonds coverage of Cowboys training camp live from Oxnard, California continues next on South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. Want to see Dallas take on Atlanta at AT&T Stadium? AARP is hooking you up. I want winners. Just head to sasportstar.com and register to win a pair of tickets to the Cowboys' final preseason game, Friday, August 22nd at 6 p.m. What does the Cowboys? It's your chance to catch America's team live before the regular season kicks off. I like this kind of party. From AARP and 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
The truck driver from Texas who was listening to a woman's podcast in Seattle starts communicating with her, and he turns into a stalker. So he drives up to Seattle, and he kills her and her husband.
Oh, my God. Must have been a bad podcast.
The John Clay Wolf Show.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
Get in on live quarter horse racing every weekend at Retama Park. This Saturday is family fun night with great activities for the kids, with free admission for kids 5 and under. Nothing beats quarter horse racing when you get playpen rewards with every wager. And don't forget, on August 8th, it's the annual Diamond Dig presented by America's Diamond, where the winner receives a beautiful diamond necklace. Enjoy terrace dining along with San Antonio's best sports bar, Clubhouse 95. With live music every Friday night. Visit retamapark.com for all the details.
Free products and services are the best. They're next to non-existent, though. But the next best thing does exist. Barter. Alamo Barter. Right here in San Antonio, if you have a business and provide a product or service, you can barter with hundreds of other businesses that are already members. From trips to a medical visit, restaurants, and home services, Alamo Barter is a great way for you to trade out your skills with others. Call Alamo Barter or visit them online at alamobarter.com. alamobarter.com.
South Texas summer is no joke. With temperatures in the triple digits, your roof takes a beating. Call Stevens Roofing and Solar at 210-785-0994. They're local, family-owned, and ready to help. Get a free, no-obligation roof inspection from a team that knows South Texas weather. Whether it's commercial or residential, a small repair, or a whole new roof, get peace of mind with Stevens Roofing. Call 210-785-0994 today. Stevens Roofing has you covered.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
If you didn't think skipping breakfast was a big deal, you'd be right. Before. But now, Wendy's has Buck Biscuits. We're talking sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit, bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit, or even the Honey Buddy chicken biscuit for just $1 each. Seriously, you can get all 3 if you want. They're just $1, so you'll never skip breakfast again. If you're smart. Breakfast for $1? Gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only. Price and participation may vary. Limit 5 qualifying items per transaction. Not valid in the combo while supplies last.
Now is the perfect time to start on your next success. Apply now and save with no application fee. Classes start August 13th. An accredited state university, University of Maryland Global Campus, offers online and hybrid courses. Plus, you can earn up to 90 credits toward a bachelor's for prior learning and work experience, or transfer up to 12 credits towards a master's. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chevy.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want to boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Turn things all the way up and find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy.
San Antonio Sports Star, live from Dallas Cowboys training camp, is brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds and sponsored in part by Southern Recipe Pork Rinds, Jim Beam, and AARP on South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's another day that ends in Y, and that means some Cowboys drama. That's why we love covering the Dallas Cowboys. We get to do it from the radio station.
Yeah.
But we got a guy that gets to do it every single day right here.
John Machota from The Athletic joining us here on The Blitz. If you're watching on YouTube, the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel, no, this isn't a replay of last year. It's just the exact same outfit.
You had to
from
do
the
that
hat.
to him, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. Right? I mean,
my brand.
Yes. Yeah. He's sponsored by Nike.
Yeah.
Or he's working on it.
Yeah.
He's working on it.
Yeah.
And,
About the only thing different I got this year is I recently started doing the Invisalign thing. I should probably try to get a sponsorship there. They're all over the place. I got some of those things out there on the field and all that. So,
as somebody that did Invisalign about a year ago,
okay,
I wish there was a sponsorship deal for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I probably should have looked into that, but it's all right.
Yeah, it's all good. So, and this Parsons news is screwed up your laundry day, huh?
It absolutely has. You know, if I'm being completely honest, though, I love this stuff.
Sure.
Like, obviously, I don't cover this team to cover Super Bowls. I cover this team because I love the drama. Like, and I know that's not for everybody, and that's fine. But I love that it just keeps you on your toes. I don't think that this is a great job that I have if you have a big family and you got to be around the house all the time and you can't kind of be on the go because there's always random stuff that happens. But with that being said, this post from Micah Parsons, even from my perspective, it's one of the craziest things I've seen covering the team. And that's with the fact that being completely transparent here. So, you know, we go to that media party last night and I had some stuff to write still. So when I got back to my hotel room, I wrote a couple of things because I was like, oh, I'm going to sleep in. And so I had some people reaching out to me because most of the people, like NFL side of people, are on the East Coast. And it was like early this morning, and my colleague Diana Rossini was like, you know, wanted to talk to me about this Micah Parsons stuff and kind of hear my side of what I've been hearing and whatever. And she wanted to put out this report about that, you know, things are getting on the Micah side. Like they're ready to, you know, go in and maybe request a trade. And I'm just like, I think we should report on it. Absolutely. Because she has very good sources on this. And I was like, no, absolutely go with this. But in the back of my mind, I'm thinking nobody requests a trade from the Cowboys. It just doesn't happen. Like nobody is trying to leave the Cowboys. Like, especially not Micah Parsons. Like Micah Parsons' brand, how media savvy he is. Like he loves the attention. He loves all of that. So I was just like, yeah, that'll be like absolute emergency that he would. And then for him to post it a few hours after we posted the story, I was like, wow, like it really has gotten to that level. So that surprised me. I didn't expect it to be, you know, as detailed as it was and all that. And then obviously saying at the end that he requested the trade personally with Stephen Jones. So pretty fascinating.
Well, it is fascinating, John, but, you know, Jason and I were talking about this, and it doesn't change anything, though, does it? I mean, it really doesn't change anything.
It's funny. I was just doing a TV head out there, and Stephen Jones is doing his normal walk around the field, and he did not seem like somebody that was very concerned. Like I'm sure a lot of Cowboys fans are right now.
Absolutely,
I mean, he's a star player, you know. You take Micah Parsons away from the defense, and it'd probably be a solid defense, but it doesn't have a chance to be the great defense that it does when you have a guy like Micah Parsons. But no, from the team side, I don't sense that type of an angst. But what I'm interested in is the next time Jerry Jones talks, because Jerry Jones, you know, felt like there was a deal on the table that, you know, that they talked it out in March and that it was about to be done, and then all of a sudden it fell through. And I think that's contributed a little bit to why there isn't a dialogue back and forth. I think obviously that's contributed to this stuff back in early April at the owners' meetings when Jerry first started saying how he didn't know who David Mulligetta, you know, didn't know his name and stuff. And looking back on it now, you know, that was all by design. Jerry wanted to get that stuff out there. He was going to take his shot at, hey, I've done plenty of contracts with players. Like I don't necessarily need the agent to be involved, but in these cases like David Mulligetta, Dak's case with Todd France, like, yeah, they're not going to let their client sign that without looking it over every, you know, T that's crossed, every I that's dotted, and that's clearly the case here. So, but to your point, though, no, nothing really hasn't. I mean, he's under contract for this season. If they wanted to, they could franchise tag him the next two. So it would be Micah willing to not play football. I find that hard to believe. I'm just watching these practices, and while I'm watching the play on the field, it's hard for me not to notice that every day that goes by, I feel like the body language of Micah is like, I'm trying to be a good teammate here, guys, but just standing on by this sled is just not enough anymore. I need to get out there. I need to be a part of this. I need to have my helmet on. I need to be hitting. And I can tell it's wearing on him So I think that probably factors into what we saw this morning too.
John Machota from The Athletic joining us here on the Blitz on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. He's requested it. Can't really say demanded it, but the Cowboys certainly don't have to oblige, right? And so what does this request, this tweet from Micah ultimately accomplish in your mind?
It's the next piece of leverage I feel like Micah has on his side to put that out there, to try and get some pressure on the Cowboys to make the phone call to David Mulugeta. And when I mean the Cowboys, there are people in the Cowboys organization that have talked to David, but Stephen Jones, Jerry Jones, I think that's what he's like, you're kind of sitting there like, what card do I have left to play right now? Things are appearing like Cowboys might be fine. Let's be honest. Jerry Jones might be fine with me sitting this whole thing out and doing like the CeeDee Lamb type thing where like it doesn't get done until they get back. And he wants to be out here, new defensive coordinator, new teammates, wants to show the leadership element of it. And he probably doesn't want it to drag out much longer, but there's no movement at all. So I think it's like one of those like, well, he feels like this is an emergency. I got to try and do something. This is the card I have to play. Let me play this one and see where it goes from here. But I don't know, just being around Jerry out here, I don't get the sense that that's going to really move him very much. I say that there is this aspect. I don't know if you guys have talked about it. I don't expect this to happen, but how do you know that there isn't some team that comes out of nowhere that just offers you something crazy? Right. We're just like, we don't want to trade him, but really? Let's at least listen to I don't think that's going to happen. I think that's a very, very, very highly unlikely scenario. But when I try and think of every parameter, like when we're up there with Kyrie Elam's talking, and I'm seeing this, reading this tweet, and I'm just like, I'm trying to go through my head, like, okay, how many different angles am I going to be writing about this? And so I guess you can't completely shut any doors. So I think that would be the only other one, but I just can't see a way where they would trade him. I just can't see that.
Well, I don't see Micah wanting to be traded for all the things you just said. I mean, he's on the most iconic franchise there is in the NFL. He gets a lot of attention and all of that. I want to ask you this question because we had Stephen Jones on the show, I think Tuesday. And I asked him the question, what he meant by Micah has to want to get paid. He wouldn't answer that question. What do you think he meant by that?
I think he meant the fact of, we've offered, it's not like we're sitting here saying, well, we don't want to pay you. I think that's what he meant is like, well, we made an offer. He's got to want to, kind of, I guess, meet. I think that he probably, if he could do it over, probably wouldn't have said that. I think it's one of those things where, Steven's very, obviously, you guys know, friendly with the media and stuff like that. And I think sometimes you might say something a little too much where you're probably like, yeah, maybe I shouldn't have said that. But at the same time, you're doing a bunch of interviews out here. He's just naturally, I mean, you guys see like last night, it's not like, we talk about this a little bit. It's not like they're racing to get out of there. It's not like they're like, okay, let's talk to the media for 10, 15 minutes and like, let's get out of there. And none of it's on the record. Like they genuinely enjoy being around the media. And so I think when you're like that, I just know just from my job, there's definitely things that I've written or said. I'm like, I wish I wouldn't have said it that way. That's kind of, that's not really fair or whatever. And I think that's probably more what it was. Because I don't think he really meant that. It's not like Micah doesn't want to get paid. He obviously wants to get paid.
Now, based on even last night on Tuesday when he was on with us, just being around him, he's out for his walk right now. Right. And just, do you think he was surprised this morning when Micah apparently personally requested a trade from Stephen Jones?
I think so. And I think that there's probably levels to it. I think the initial Micah asking him was probably a surprise, but then also, I mean, it's pretty detailed, the message he put up there. That's not the same as Terry McLaurin or Myles Garrett. There's some real detail in there about the contract stuff and the contract negotiations and going back and forth and things like that. So he certainly wanted to get more off his chest than just tweeting, I've requested a trade from the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, he put some, so I think that there's probably levels to where there's probably some surprise, like, whoa, okay. So we'll see where it goes from there. But I think Steven can stay pretty even keel with this stuff. Jerry's the one I really want, because Jerry's the one that I get the sense was the most frustrated with the deal not getting done back in March when he thought that they had the parameters structured. And hey, I'll just be honest, like I wouldn't do any deal like that without an agent either. I think you'd be foolish not to have a representative like that. So it's hard to hate on Micah for being like, yeah, I agree to, okay. Yeah, just make sure it's cool. The agent looks it over and stuff like that, and then we're good. And then if my agent says, hey, no, this is this right here, like for me, like I always go back to, I wonder if the guarantees on it. Because like, you say, like when these contracts come out, you say to me like, I'll give you a 4-year, $120 million deal. Yeah, sounds great. Let's do it. But then you get in the fine print. It's like, well, if you get this injury, we can get rid of you after year 2. And you're just like, oh, so this is really only a 2-year deal. And I don't know that to be the case. And I don't know exactly what their contract talks were. But those are the little things that I know for me personally, if I didn't have an agent, I'd be like, yeah, no, they said 4 for 120. I'm taking that. That's amazing. Let's do that. But really it could be like 2 for 60 or something, or 2 for 40.
Or there's that hidden thing in there that Trayvon Diggs had, right, that he didn't know about,
well,
which I find hard to believe, honestly.
Yeah.
But court of public opinion, obviously, John, and you deal with this too. Everybody seems to be on the side of the player in every one of these, whether it was Dak or CD or now Micah. Why do you think that is?
29 years of not going to a Super Bowl.
Okay.
I really do think that that's the biggest one, because I just look at it from the other. I don't know if Philadelphia is a good city to compare to. So my beliefs are, like, I just think clearly right now in football, Howie Roseman's the best GM in football. I feel like he's bought himself some leeway that if there was some disagreements with players, you'd probably be like, I think Howie's kind of cooking right now. Let's go with this. I think you give him the benefit of the doubt. So I do think the lack of winning big is probably, and then just that it's been so many years where we've been coming out here and there's just these, these holdouts, whether it be, going back to Dez, Zeke, the Dak, obviously Zach Martin and all that, and then CD last year. So I think that fans are kind of frustrated with that. We're like, hey, can we get out to a camp where just everybody's out there, especially with a new coaching staff? Like, hey, it'd be great if everybody could be out here and we just hit the ground running, But I just want to leave a little wiggle room, because I could say, hey, if they were coming off of that they just won the Super Bowl, I think you could have a little bit like, hey, just get back in there, Micah. Everything's going good, whatever. But when you haven't won, and Jerry obviously is the face of it, that it's like, well, he's the one that people are going to point to and blame. And so that doesn't surprise me at all.
And then you look at like all the examples you just gave. Ultimately, they all got it done.
Yeah.
Around the same dollar that everybody thought it was going to get done.
Yeah.
And it comes down to, with every team, you talk to any agent, a deal will get done when the team wants it to get done. And it could be the timing of when a bonus needs to be paid or whatever. And that's something that none of us really know what their pay schedule looks like for everybody. And when the team's ready, it gets done. It just always seems like, the Cowboys want this drama to go with it. I mean, hell, I think they've let SportsCenter First Take get up every show out there for the last 3 weeks.
I think part of it is that at the end, see, I've been saying this for a while. Every year I feel like I cover the team. I see more and more where, like, you can just see Steven taking on more and more. Like, I think it'll be a smooth process, handing up after Jerry to Steven running things. But at the end of the day, Jerry still is making the final decisions. It wasn't, Steven just couldn't hand in the card or make the call on Zach Martin, over Johnny Manziel. Like, there's like things like that. And so because of that, I will always believe that Jerry, being such a successful businessman, has won so many negotiations that this is like sport for him. This is like fun, where he's just like, what kind of money I've wagered on this? Like, you guys think that I'm nervous about this? You think that this worries me right now? I love this right now. And the fans, they don't love this, because they're like, no, Jerry, I'm worried that you're about to lose our star player here. Like, what are we doing here? But I think he enjoys, to a certain extent, some of this stuff, and that's been a factor in all of this. So,
John Machota with The Athletic, joining us here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. John, where does this go from here? I mean, because obviously we know Mike is frustrated. I don't think he's going to leave. That doesn't do him any good to leave. What happens now?
I've always felt like, I know talking to you guys, I'd said I thought it'd get done right before training camp, because you want to hit the ground running with this new coaching staff. I can't believe that Jerry wouldn't at least make a call to try and get a ball rolling with just how much success they want and how much they believe in Brian Schottenheimer. Why set him up year one right away without your star defensive player, and the whole new coaching staff? Because let's keep in mind, like, when they hired Brian Schottenheimer, it's not like it was this hire where everyone was like, yeah, that's the one. That's obviously what you should have done, Jerry. So I feel like with Brian, there's a little bit of how Jerry was with Jason Garrett, where it's like, this is my guy, and I want to prove to you guys that this is my guy, and it's going to work. And so why would you set him up in his first year without having such an impactful player not on the field? I find it hard to believe that something's not going to happen. Now, it might not happen until we get back to Frisco, but I just can't see, like, it being an Emmitt Smith thing where he's like not playing week 1, week 2. Like, that would really surprise me, because really we haven't seen that since then with Cowboys star players.
Does the tweet from Micah today change things in Jerry's mind? Like now, pissing match is just what it is. Jerry does care about optics. If they were to get a deal done this weekend, it would look like, oh, he tweeted and threatened and Jerry folded right away, which is a precedent that I'm sure Jerry doesn't want to do. So now I'm wondering, how much does this delay things?
Oh, no, it certainly could. No, you're absolutely right about that. I don't know. I think it'd be entertaining for our jobs if he was more active on Twitter. Can you imagine Jerry firing back right after that? Like, oh, that's what happened? Hold on. Let me tell you what happened. So it's probably better he doesn't have, he has a social media account, but he hasn't posted anything since 2011. So not that I check it, but you just never know. Today, you want to get it back going again. Yeah. This is how you build the following, Jerry. But no, that's like tomorrow. Like, I'm just interested. Like, I expect Micah Parsons to be out there. And as you guys have seen, I expect Jerry to be up in the tower. So are they going to cross paths? Are they going to talk? Are they not going to talk? Like, is Jerry going to just keep his head down because he's angry? I mean, you really could go anywhere with it. But I will say I agree to your point that I can't see Jerry being like, all right, let's just get it done now, because he doesn't want to show that type of giving the leverage to a player, not just for Micah, but future players. Like, hey, you want to get this thing done? Say something wild on social media. Yeah. They'll cave, like he's not going to give in on that. So no, that's a really good point. That probably does definitely delay things because of that.
All right, John, let's talk a little football. What has impressed you so far, or maybe I should say, who has impressed you so far out there at training camp?
Yeah, yesterday, no question to me, was George Pickens' best day. That was the George Pickens I saw out there yesterday. That's where you're like, man, him on one side, CD on the other. That is a monster. Like. And I think for me, I knew he was a good deep ball guy, and that's obviously shown, but they're not tackling to the ground, but I think he can do more after the catch than maybe he has shown up to this point. And that'll be kind of fascinating to see, because we already know CD can do that. I mean, I think that's maybe CD's greatest strength. You get the ball in his hands. He's way more physical than you think he'll be. CD to me has been the best player out here. CD is already ready. That there was no playing the Rams practice and that there's no reason why you need to see him and Dak or any of these guys. Like, they're already where they need to be. I think just let Pickens keep growing and you're good there. Those are the ones that have stood out most to me. But defensively, I don't think there's anybody that stood out or surprised me more than Kaiir Elam. Like, he has been getting his hands on ball, intercepting passes, looking every bit of what you would think a former first round pick was. Obviously, it didn't work out in Buffalo, and I think Buffalo is a pretty good organization, so it kind of surprises me how good he has looked out here. So and then obviously you guys probably heard Donovan Ezeraku, the rookie defensive end, looks like it doesn't look like he's going to need to wait till the second year. Like, he looks like he'll be pretty impactful right away.
Yeah, and back to Pickens, he is a lot bigger than I
thought he
would be.
I know.
And now, granted, I'm a tall 5'7", but even today on the podium, he was kind of making fun of the short defensive backs and how he can take advantage of them. I was offended by that, but he's right. He is a lot bigger than when you see a height, weight, just in person.
No, there's no question. The first day I saw him that he showed up at the Star, when he ran out with his helmet on, I was like, damn, he is a legit 6'3", because a lot of the numbers get rounded up and things like that. I mean, just covering this team, with the day, it seems like Mozzie Smith's weight changes. I mean, it can be anywhere from 300 to 3. I think he said 310, 315 yesterday. So I'm always kind of hesitant on that. But when I saw George Pickens the first time, I was like, oh no, he's legit 6'3", big receiver. And so the thing with him that I wonder is we've seen a little bit of it, but then where does the jump ball come in the red zone? Because I think he's really got that to his game with that size. He's going to be bigger than most DBs. And there's been some of that here, but not like it used to be out here when Des Bryant was out here. And it kind of makes me wonder if that's coming back into the offense, particularly in the red zone. So
yeah, it's interesting because he talked about that today. You heard him, George Pickens talk. He loves the red zone.
Yeah.
And he thinks he's got a real advantage over everybody. So that's going to be fun to watch.
Hey, I'm just interested in how that's going to balance out between him and CD, because the way CD looks out there, he looks as good as I've ever seen him. And I just go back to 2 years ago when he was out there for all 17 games, and Dak's out there for all 17. I mean, that's the potential of, 17, 1,800 yards, 10, 15 touchdowns. But he could be playing even better than that. But then Pickens is obviously going to get his. I really believe that part of the Jake Ferguson deal is that he's set up to where he could really have a monster year, because there's going to be somebody that has to eat on that defense. You can only take away so many people. Like Cavante Turpin, like the passing game's there. I still would need to see some pads on to really judge if the running game's there. But that passing game can be lethal if they can just have any type of run game.
Well, and Shoddy says he's committed to the run, although I think every coach says that.
True.
But,
That's true.
But will Shoddy stay committed to the run when you look at the weapons they have in the passing game?
No, that's very true, because I think of like early in games, like, heck, it could be that first game, you're on the road, Philly, you want to come out there and you're like, hey, everybody thinks we're going to pass it, hand off Javonte Williams 3 yards. And you're like, all right, well, let's run it again. Next thing you know, you're off the field, and it's like your receivers are looking around like, where's the stuff we were doing? Like, how long is this going to last? And then what happens the next year? You starting to force passes the guys. Now they're dropping slants, things like that. They're like, I've seen George Pickens catch that 10 out of 10 times. Like, now you're forcing it. Next thing you know, you're down to the Eagles, and now it's going to. So it's like, you got to kind of keep the main thing. And your strength is obviously your passing game. But I just wonder if that run game will be ready to go early on. I think it's going to need time to kind of get where it goes. But if you give it time, from what I've seen out here, I think Jaden Blue's got a chance to be a really good player. Like, I think Miles Sanders, we've seen what he can be, and I think he'll be a solid player. But Jaden Blue's the one where it's like that speed that he has, pass catching ability. I think he's got the upside where you're like, I could see him being a really good running back in this league for several years. But will it be week 1, or does it take him to like week 5 or 6 until he gets that? But I think the potential's there with him.
What do you think about the offensive line? Because there have been some guys banged up, but Nate Thomas is a guy that everybody's raving about right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he's looked pretty good. But for me, the problem with the Cowboys offensive line these last few years has been just, can you keep that same 5 out there? It seems like even out here, like you're just, like Tyler Smith left practice yesterday because some knee tendonitis. And obviously you lose Tyler Guyton. It's like, can you get that 5 to stay out there? I mean, Mike McCarthy used to say this all the time, about that, the year when they won it all at the Packers, and just how if you can have that same offensive line at the beginning of the year, at the end of the year. I mean, obviously the Eagles are a great example of that. Your chances of success are just incredible. Like, it just raised by so much, because it's so hard to do. And it's interesting to me because they've had these injuries, and I don't think it's a very physical. I mean, especially the way football used to be played at training camp. It's not that crazy out there. I think Schottenheimer does a great job of taking them away from the situations where they're on the ground and those things. So, but they came into this camp where I was like, this is the best depth they've had on the offensive line in at least 2-3 years. But then now the injuries stack up, and now you're like, now you're working at Lyle Collins, So I think it's got a chance to be there, but how healthy is it?
Yeah.
Never a dull moment with the Dallas Cowboys. John Machota covers it all. Make sure you're following on Twitter at John Machota, and subscribe to The Athletic. It's certainly well worth a couple of bucks for that great coverage.
Well, especially now.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. No doubt.
Absolutely.
John, thank you. Appreciate it very
Absolutely.
much.
Thanks for having me on.
All right. Our AA Best Bail Bonds Dallas Cowboys training camp coverage from Oxnard, California will continue here in a moment. Cavante Turpin will join us at about 4:45. We're going to talk to Cavante about a number of things. And, of course, Micah Parsons, the subject of the day.
Yeah.
We'll continue here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
AA Best Bail Bonds coverage of Cowboys training camp live from Oxnard, California continues next on South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. 180! Get it first. Get it fast. Get it now. Full coverage of Dallas Cowboys training camp brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds and sponsored in part by Southern Recipe Pork Rinds, Jim B, and AARP. Live from Oxnard, California, KTFM, Floresville, South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. And now save up to $800 on select smart beds. Limited time. All Sleep Number smart beds offer temperature solutions for your best sleep. Check it out at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com today.
If you didn't think skipping breakfast was a big deal, you'd be right. Before. But now, Wendy's has Buck Biscuits. We're talking sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit, bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit, or even the Honey Buddy Chicken Biscuit for just $1 each. Seriously, you can get all 3 if you want. They're just $1. so you'll never skip breakfast again. If you're smart. Breakfast for $1? Gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only. Price and participation may vary. Limit 5 qualifying items per transaction. Not valid in the combo while supplies
The
last.
granddaddy of all hunting shows is back, and we are ready to cross the state of Texas to bring the best hunting show to a city near you. The Hunters Extravaganza is a great event for the whole family. We have the latest and greatest the hunting world has to offer, from products to hunts, and feature seminars with Dr. Deer, Gary Robertson, and more. Come enjoy attractions like rattlesnakes, gator country, a fish tank, and many more. Join us in San Antonio for the Hunters Extravaganza. Get tickets at TTHA.com. Brought to you by the Texas Trophy Hunters Association.
Since 1993, Thomas J. Henry dedicated himself to building a firm that injured clients can trust and respect. A firm backed by a track record of success and commitment to our clients. If you've been injured, trust Thomas J. Henry, San Antonio, Texas.
Well, these polymers aren't as flexible as batch K3.
Researcher Laurie is stretched thin.
Did you get the vulcanization analytics from V66? Wait, are these rubber scores from last week?
She needs to hire new lab technicians so she can bounce back into her old self.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our matching platform lets you spend less time searching and more time connecting with candidates. Redeem your $75 credit at Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
Now is the perfect time to start on your next success. Apply now and save with no application fee. Classes start August 13th. An accredited state university, University of Maryland Global Campus, offers online and hybrid courses. Plus, you can earn up to 90 credits toward a bachelor's for prior learning and work experience, or transfer up to 12 credits towards a master's. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chevy.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. With that kind of money, you could go big time. The next time you're out to dinner with friends, you can order the shrimp cocktail for the table. And maybe you'll realize it only comes with 4 shrimp after you've already given away 3, but that one shrimp will be so good. And if you switch and save hundreds, you could get shrimp all the time. Switch to Progressive and you could save big time for shrimp. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Potential savings will vary.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on home insurance by checking Allstate first.
Hold it.
Like to check the assembly instructions first.
Hold it.
Before building the bookcase.
And done. Whew. You can let go.
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Not available in every state. Potential savings vary. Allstate Vehicle and Property Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Cowboys pass rusher Micah Parsons has officially requested a trade from the Dallas Cowboys. He released a statement earlier today saying, in part, "Unfortunately, I no longer want to be here." Well, the NFL and ESPN have reached a blockbuster agreement that will place many of the league's top media holdings with the sports network in exchange for equity in ESPN. That is potentially worth billions.
This Sports Center update brought to you by Twin Peaks.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
We made it. It's Friday. Beautiful Friday here in Oxnard, California. No question about that. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagel. Jason Minix is right here. And, boy, what a day. Micah Parsons, the story of the day, but it's just another great day in Oxnard, Minix.
It really is. You noticed something last night when we were driving over to get on the bus to head down to Nobu for Jerry's party, and there was a sign that is actually a tsunami evacuation route. Now, I'm going to guess that sign has been there for a long time. Never noticed it before, but this week we were in a tsunami, and it feels like, Micah Parsons dropped a tsunami on the Dallas Cowboys today.
I think he did. Requesting a trade. Obviously, we've been talking about it for some time now with Micah and the Cowboys trying to get an extension done. Mike in the final year of his rookie contract. And, he wants a new deal, and he wants to, which will inevitably pay him as the highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history. But it hit a snag today, a little bit of one anyway.
Well, and it's interesting. And some of the people that we've talked to today, whether it was Kristi Scales from the Dallas Cowboys radio network to John Machota from The Athletic, it feels like a odd time to play that card.
Yeah.
Because in reality, the Cowboys have the leverage. The Cowboys can tag him twice. So he's the Cowboys' property for the next 3 years, right? I mean, so there's not a lot of leverage on the part of Micah Parsons, especially since he showed up. Because if he were to leave camp, the ramifications there are tsunami-like and not in Micah's favor.
Not at all.
Right? I mean, this is a guy who, went out on the tightrope without the safety net, right? And just because you request a trade doesn't mean that the Cowboys have to go, okay, well, let's figure out what we can get for you. And we all know how leverage works. If teams are calling the Cowboys, do you really think that they're going all in on an offer or lowball them because you got an unhappy employee? And I can promise you, every player that's been in a contract dispute with the Cowboys ends up with a smile on their face, including CeeDee Lamb. And hearing CeeDee talk this week, it sucked last year for him, and he openly admits it. But that dude is happy as hell right now. And you heard John Machota say in the last hour, the best player at camp ready to go right now.
Yeah, he said he looks as good as he's seen him look since he's been a member of the Dallas Cowboys, and that's certainly good news for the Cowboys. CD tweeted out, pay the man. I mean, obviously the players are on Micah's side. They want to because it benefits them. I mean, ultimately, right? So you stick together and you do that. It does seem a little bit odd, and I have to believe that Micah I don't think he planned this. Do you? I mean, I'm speculating, obviously. Maybe he had this in mind all along, but you see what Terry McLaurin did with the Washington Commanders yesterday, requests a trade, and the very next day, here comes Micah doing the same thing. I'm not sure if Mulligetta is McLaurin's agent or not, or how they share anything, but it just seems kind of odd that the day after McLaurin did that, here comes Micah Parsons.
And again, well, even Myles Garrett. Remember, Myles Garrett was rolling around Super Bowl Radio Row. And ultimately, you could say, well, it worked for him. Who knows if it actually worked for him, because I think the Browns were going to re-sign him anyway. But he put out a goodbye letter. In fact, this is more Myles Garrett than Terry McLaurin. Remember, around Super Bowl, Myles Garrett puts out the tweet thinking Cleveland, but my goal is to win a Super Bowl. It's not about money. Oh, wait, I'm going to be the highest paid? You really think the Browns are going to the Super Bowl? No, it's always about the money from both sides. Micah Parsons can post today that, he was going to leave money on the table. Yeah, BS. We called BS on that when he said it on a TV interview in December that he doesn't have to be. Now, maybe last year after his third year, just to get it done, maybe there was some truth in the statement then because he wanted that long-term financial stability. But he's not leaving money on the table.
Nor should he.
David Mulligetta is not going to let him leave money on the table. And quite frankly, the NFL Players Association does not want him to leave money on the table. Every one of these guys, the union, their agents, you get as much as you can from these billionaire owners.
Well, absolutely. And that's what they're trying to do. And you get the feeling that all of this stems from that meeting that Jerry and Micah had in March, where Jerry thought they had a deal done. And Mulligetta, quite frankly, advised Micah not to sign that thing. So that's irritated Jerry. Micah, in his statement, admitted that Mulligetta advised him to wait, not get an early deal, advised him to wait on some of these other guys to get signed. We've talked about that. So there's two sides to this story. And obviously the blame is going to go straight to Jerry Jones. That's how it always goes, and that's fine. But there are two sides to this.
Well, and there are. And, you can always comment on our YouTube channel. Go to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Jay Forrest says, Micah has the long-term leverage.
I'm not sure that he does.
I mean, long-term leverage, what does that mean in the sense of he wants a contract now? Jerry can control Micah Parsons' future for the next 3 years. And you look at some of the things that the Dallas Cowboys can do. And one of the things I didn't even thought about until Kristi Scales brought it up earlier today, if Micah were to leave camp for 5 days, they can put him on the non-football injury retired list, and that would keep Micah from playing this year for the Cowboys or anybody else. I mean, it's pretty extreme, but that is a card that the Cowboys have in their hand. And again, with the franchise tag, let's just look at dollars, right? We're all assuming Micah is going to be the highest paid non-quarterback, so around $42 million, right, per year. Next year, if he's tagged, that franchise tag for a defensive end is going to be around 27, 28,
right?
Somewhere in there, right? That's far cheaper than 42. Now, all of that would go against the cap, so they would have to do some salary cap gymnastics to make it work. In the year after that, you're looking at about 120% of last year's salary, or the average of the last 5 years, the top guys. Honestly, playing on the tag for the next couple of years is cheaper for the Dallas Cowboys.
There's no question about that. They have the leverage. But what it is weird about what happened today with this whole requesting a trade thing, and Micah's been here. He's seen this process play out. And I get the frustration. I understand it. He wants to be out there playing. He's here thinking he's doing everything that he thinks he's supposed to do. But if you're just a little patient, Jerry's going to eventually cave. He's going to get your deal. You're going to have your money, and everything's going to be happy. But this, dropping a bomb like this today, to me just doesn't serve him well, because he absolutely has no leverage in this thing. They're not going to trade him. They've already come out and said that, unless somebody just blows them away with something, which I don't think they will. But this does not serve Micah well. This letter, it just doesn't, and it's just really a play and a temper tantrum in my mind.
And again, his feelings are hurt. It's personal, and I get that. At the same time, I'm looking at David Mulligetta's history. The one we don't know what Micah might be asking for, but let's go with history and David Mulligetta. David Mulligetta is known to do short deals with a lot of guaranteed money. We know the Dallas Cowboys like to do longer deals so they could spread out the salary cap. Use Dak for an example. The first contract when Dak had to play on the tag for 2 years. Jerry wanted his quarterback signed for 6 years. Dak wanted 4. Played 2 years on the tag and got a 4-year deal. Jerry got his 6 years out of Dak Prescott that he was trying to get. It could something like that be in play? We don't know, but all you can do is see what has Mulligetta done with other clients. And I got to believe Mulligetta was aware of and signed off on the post today. So there is a plan by the Parsons camp. Why? Does it make sense? It does to them. But we called an agent friend of ours earlier today, and this guy said, deal will get done when the team wants to get it done, period. And a lot of it could be timing on when stuff gets paid, including bonuses. Is it as soon as we sign? Is it this day? Is it that day? But in reality, the team will get it done when the team wants to get it done.
And that's going to happen with Micah, and it would have happened, and it still most likely will. And so today, I just don't understand the whole requesting a trade from the Dallas Cowboys. I wonder if Mulligetta knew about this. I mean, I honestly do. I kind of get the feeling maybe this is just Micah going off and flying off the handle. I don't know. Maybe Mulligetta knew about it, but I can't imagine that Mulligetta would have advised him to do this.
As I said, I mean, there's a plan. I don't know why. It doesn't make sense to me. It might make sense down the road, but I can't believe Micah would do that without Mulligetta's knowledge. Now, let's go back to last night, the Jerry Jones media party, which was spectacular.
It really was.
Down at Nobu in Malibu. I mean, lives up to every expectation. Just incredible. We'll get into food later, maybe. But we talked with Jerry. We talked with Steven. They weren't overly, if they're playing poker, they didn't seem overly concerned, right? And
Not at all.
Nor did they say anything last night at an event that is known to be off the record. Nothing was said last night when it comes to Micah Parsons that hasn't been said publicly. There was nothing like, ooh. But then overnight, there is Diana Rossini's sources. She woke John Machota up early this morning because she's on the East Coast. Here's the story. It breaks. And I would imagine Mulugeta was quickly in touch with Micah Parsons about that story, and they came up with a game plan. And then Micah's brother tweeted, "Don't believe anything you read unless you hear it from Micah." And about 10 minutes later, Micah's tweet posted. I got to believe it was organized.
Yeah, well, could be. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Maybe it was. We'll see how it works out. In my mind, and I think you agree with this, I don't think there's any way Jerry has a deal for Micah anytime soon. And I'm talking about the next week to 10 days because of this. I just don't think Jerry wants to get that image in other players' minds that all you have to do is request a trade, they'll cave, and that's it. So I think this, if it was close, I think this sets it back a little bit, quite frankly. I really do. By the way, Cowboys have signed La'el Collins today. He worked out for the Cowboys, and they need help on that offensive line, depth-wise. And, well, La'el Collins is, once again, a Dallas Cowboy.
Third time's a charm. He's here for depth. I don't know if he'll be here for the regular season.
Well, no, I don't think so either, because I think all the injuries they've had, the guys are going to come back, and they'll be back. It's not a long-term situation for a lot of these guys. So I think it's just manpower here at camp, and they need it. So we'll see what happens. We'll continue to watch that, as we do, because, well, that's what we do. Our AA Best Bail Bonds Dallas Cowboys training camp coverage live from Oxnard, California. We're going to continue things here on the tennis courts when we return on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Can't wait to get home this weekend and get over to the Rue Pub there at 281 and Redland Road. That is my go-to spot to watch any big game, any big fight, because of those three massive 170-inch screens, and they've got TVs all around. And go hungry. The food at the Rue Pub is fantastic. They've got the biggest and best wings in town. Loved their fried shrimp. They got 15 different burgers on the menu, including the original Wemby burger. They've got that great bison burger, chicken sandwiches. The hot dogs are outstanding. Great appetizers. Salads, I'm told, are wonderful. And that kitchen is open late every day with the full menu available. So when you need a late-night meal, don't go to a drive-thru. Get into the Rue Pub there at 281 and Redland Road. Happy hour weekdays from 11 to 6. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch a game. Just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. The Rue Pub, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Rue.
AA Best Bail Bonds coverage of Cowboys training camp live from Oxnard, California continues next on South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. Want to see Dallas take on Atlanta at AT&T Stadium? AARP is hooking you up. I want winners. Just head to sasportstar.com and register to win a pair of tickets to the Cowboys' final preseason game, Friday, August 22nd at 6 p.m. Cowboys! It's your chance to catch America's team live before the regular season kicks off. I like this kind of party! From AARP and 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Get in on live quarter horse racing every weekend at Retama Park. This Saturday, it's family fun night with great activities for the kids, with free admission for kids 5 and under. Nothing beats quarter horse racing when you get playpen rewards with every wager. And don't forget, on August 8th, it's the annual Diamond Dig presented by America's Diamond, where the winner receives a beautiful diamond necklace. Enjoy terrace dining along with San Antonio's best sports bar, Clubhouse 95. With live music every Friday night. Visit retamapark.com for all the details.
With Robinhood, not only can you trade individual stocks and ETFs, you can also seamlessly buy and sell crypto at low costs. Trade all in one place. Get started now on Robinhood. Trading crypto involves significant risk. Crypto trading is offered through an account with Robinhood Crypto LLC. Robinhood Crypto is licensed to engage in virtual currency business activity by the New York State Department of Financial Services. Crypto held through Robinhood Crypto is not FDIC insured or SIPC protected. Investing involves risk, including loss of principal. Securities trading is offered through an account with Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC, a registered broker-dealer.
Man, look at that Return of the Old King, man. Oh, wow. Emotional.
King of the Hill is back.
They got a Bob's in the airport now. Oh, that's Boba.
World has changed, Dad.
Bobby wants to bring that new girl over for dinner.
The Vegas? What the hell am I supposed to feed her?
Can't we just put some grass in a bowl?
From Mike Judge and Greg Daniels.
Ready to make some memories, Dad?
Let's freaking go.
A Hulu original series, King of the Hill. Season premiere August 4th, streaming on Hulu.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 and monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
Injuries happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Corey area with extended hours Monday through Saturday with on-site x-ray casting and bracing, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at tsaog.com.
San Antonio Sports Star, live from Dallas Cowboys training camp, is brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds, and sponsored in part by Southern Recipe Pork Rinds, Jim Beam, and AARP on South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Ah, that's a good song. Is Jerry Unbreakable?
Uh-huh.
Will Micah be able to break Jerry?
Somebody's going to break.
Somebody's going to break eventually, and I'm sure it will be Jerry Jones. Hey, this is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagel. Jason Minix is right here as well. We're on the tennis courts here in Oxnard, California.
Absolutely.
Never a dull day, my friend.
And look, as we're talking about the Cowboys, if you want to see the Cowboys, we're giving away tickets. You can go see the Cowboys take on Atlanta in the final preseason game. It's a Friday night, August 22nd, 6 o'clock kickoff there at AT&T Stadium. AARP is making it happen. All you have to do to register to win a pair of tickets is go to sasportstar.com. Your chance to see America's team live in action. Brought to you by AARP and 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I can promise you, Micah Parsons will not play in that game.
Whether he signs or not.
Yes.
He won't play in that game. You're exactly right. But that'd be a lot of fun to go to Jerry World and see that game. So sign up.
Absolutely.
And get it done. Absolutely. So that is the big news today. Micah Parsons has officially requested a trade.
You can comment on our YouTube page. Go to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel. Lots of great comments there. Twitter at Joe Reinagel 210. Tweet at me at Jason Minix. Or let's talk about it. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. What I find funny, Joe, is this morning is A.J. Hoffman was Ubering us over here to camp. We were listening to, I think it was KLOS, great radio station out here in Los Angeles. And everybody that was calling in had weird nicknames. There was Whiskey Jim, and I forget now. Pledge is telling me Wally Dog on line one. Wally Dog, you're on the Blitz. What's up, man?
Hey, I'm here.
All right. What do you got to say?
I just don't understand all the drama. I don't understand. Number one, Jerry Jones is creating it. and he's creating discontent among the crew. Here's the deal. I would tag Michael Parsons and tell him, you got to tell him, like, look, here's the thing. I know it's going to cost me on the salary cap. I know it's going to cost me, but we're tagging you. Let's go play football. Otherwise, we're just creating all this discontent. Maybe I tag you for execute the fifth-year option.
Hang on, Wally. He's under contract right now, and that's part of Jerry's content. He always says he's under contract. The tag does not come into play until a year from now. So it's an option that Jerry has, and he could do it 2 years in a row. But this year is the final year of his current contract, his rookie deal. Micah wants to get a new deal before this one expires because he wants to avoid being tagged down the road. So that's part of just what you're saying. Makes me think you're not on the same page as where Jerry and Mike are and what they're actually arguing over. The tag is not in play right now.
But the fifth-year option is.
Well, he's under contract. That's already been exercised.
Exactly. So it's over. Go play football.
Well, it should be over, but it's the NFL, and unfortunately it doesn't work that way in the NFL. So that's why we're having this squabble. But guys, it's very seldom that players nowadays finalize or finish a contract. They're getting a new one or getting an extension or something is happening. But it's just the way it is in the NFL these days.
Yeah, most don't play on the final year of their deal, especially when they're young and they expect the team to take care of them. See, Dak Prescott last year was willing to play out the final year of his deal if he didn't get what he wanted. And you can imagine what his free agency could have been like. The day of the opener, Jerry got that done, but Dak was willing to do it. A lot of players don't want to play on the final year of the deal. You look at Mike McCarthy. What did we say all last year? Lame duck coach.
Lame duck.
How do you let a coach either fire him or extend him? Jerry's like, why would I pay him not to come to work? He's got a year left. And you know, Jerry is, I think, a little old school in that mindset. Is he's under contract. What was his joke the other day? He's making $20-something million to stand around and watch practice.
That's exactly what he said. And Jerry's an old school guy. But he knows, and look, it's all a game, and we've seen this game play out, and everybody, you know, wants to say this and that, and you know, should get it done early, take care of your players. Well, it's not as easy as we think it is. We can sit here and say, Jerry's a billionaire, just pay him. It's not all that easy. There's a lot of stuff in there that has to be negotiated that both sides have to agree on. So it's not just Jerry being stubborn. All right, Jerry does run a business. The Dallas Cowboys are a business. And so as a businessman, you want to try and make the best deal you can for your business. Micah Parsons wants to make the best deal for Micah Parsons. So there's two sides and they have to come together. So it's not as easy as just pay him.
Well, and again, it's all the little things in that contract. All right. Like none of us really want to know how the sausage is made, right? You just want the final package. You buy it at the store and you throw it on your grill and you go. But there's obviously a lot going on in there, and little injury clauses, the de-escalators that are in there, guaranteed money. When is money going to be paid? So in other words, when does it leave Jerry's account and get to Micah's? And, you know, that's the kind of stuff that they could be arguing over, although it sounds like they're not even arguing over that. If you go by with what Micah Parsons posted today, he and Jerry did have a conversation. Mike admits that. Micah says he didn't think that was an actual negotiation, but what do you want in your contract? Jerry's thinking if it was a conversation over a couple of days, which is what it sounded like it was, we've talked money, we talked years. Jerry thought he had a deal. And by all accounts, the Cowboys haven't offered Micah, and Micah hasn't countered. Now, does that not mean that there's been conversations where what neighborhoods they need to be in, and are they close? I don't know, because what's interesting, like with Terry McLaurin, right? We're hearing that Washington's offered him around $27 million, right?
Right.
We haven't heard anything like that when it comes to Micah Parsons' deal. You know, we've heard numbers with Trey Hendricks, but we haven't heard numbers with Micah Parsons, real numbers other than comparables to TJ Watt. What did TJ get? He's going to get more than that. So we know he's going to be the highest paid non-quarterback. So we're looking at those numbers and putting that's the floor. So how much more is he asking for? But we have not heard, and by all accounts from what Micah said today, because conversations haven't happened, did the Cowboys lowball or did Micah ask for the moon and 3 stars?
Well, I have a feeling it's probably a little of both.
If they've even gotten to that point.
If they've exactly. So again, it takes two sides to come together. And I just and I know everybody thinks I'm on the side of the billionaires. I'm not. It's just that's the way that it works. Jerry does it his way. It's out there. If you don't like it, you don't like it. And a lot of people don't. But that's the way he does it. Micah was going to get paid. There's no doubt in my mind Micah Parsons would have gotten a contract before game 1. And all of this would have been done. To me, what Micah did today is nothing more than a temper tantrum, because it doesn't change anything. It moves the needle not at all, because Jerry still has the advantage, and Micah's not going to leave camp, and he's not going to not play. So it doesn't change anything what happened today. To me, it just makes Micah look bad.
And, on our YouTube channel, Colby Ryan writes, let me find it, talking about Mulligetta and Deshaun Watson. Micah doesn't have to get paid. Mulligetta did it with Deshaun because his contract's fully guaranteed. A lot of differences there. One, he got signed and he got hurt. And so when you're injured, yes, you are going to get paid. If Micah, who's at practice, he's doing what he needs to do, just not stepping on the field. But if, and I don't think it will, but if this drags into the regular season, he wouldn't get paid because he gets paid per game. And there's lists and different things they could do, conduct detrimental to the team. There's all these kind of things. So no, he wouldn't make all that money if he's not hurt just because he's holding out. If he's holding out, you're not getting paid. That's why people say he ain't going to miss game checks, right? I just don't see him missing game checks. And if he were to sit out this year, his year wouldn't count. So he's in the same boat next year as far as being vested for the number of years when it comes to free agency.
Hey, $24 million is $24 million. I mean, we tend to forget, yes, he is under contract. This year he's going to make $24 million. He's not going to miss that. He's not. And I know he wants long-term security, but my goodness, I mean, $24 million is life-changing money. Is it not? And the guys, I mean, to me it would be. To you it would be. To Micah Parsons it is. It's a lot of money. So he's not going to miss that at all.
210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Back to the phones. Rudy, you're on the Blitz. What's going on, man?
Hey, what's up? I was just calling because this whole Micah Parsons thing that's going on, if he wants to get traded, if we can get something good for it, then I guess let it happen. But to me, I'd rather keep him. I do want to keep him, but if it just boils down to both sides can't come to an agreement, then, well, if we get something good for it, then let's roll with that. Because, I mean, he's a good player, but we can get someone else and win.
I mean, he's a great player, but I will say, I don't think he'll get traded. But if you were to look at what the Cowboys could get for Micah Parsons, let's just go down this path for a moment. Gavante Turpin will join us in about 15 minutes. So, but let's look real quick at the possibilities of a trade. Khalil Mack comes to mind. And if you remember the conversation that we had with Lindsay Rhodes, who used to work with the NFL Network, now she's with a company called Sumer Sports, and they look at all kinds of data. Back at the Super Bowl when we were down in New Orleans, she gave us what she thought were the parameters of a Micah Parsons contract at the time. So a text over what's the computers and all this data say about a trade. And there's no comps except for Khalil Mack, so you would get more, but that would at least be the floor. So you would have to find a team willing to give you 2 first-rounders to start with. That's the starting conversation. Maybe more and other things. Plus, that team would have to then sign Micah Parsons because they're not going to give up those kind of assets and not sign him to that kind of deal.
And that's it. Now, I don't know how many teams would be willing to do that. Now, they might think that it's worth it to get a guy like Micah Parsons. But again, the Cowboys have come out today, and it could be all lip service, but they're not going to trade Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons, according to Ed Werder, says he doesn't want to leave Dallas. He doesn't want to get traded. This is going to happen. This is just a frustrated ball player who wants to get paid, wants to get this contract done so he can get out on the field and play. And he's just venting today with this trade request. Neither side wants to part ways. This is all just a show, I think, on Micah's part, just to try and speed things up.
Well, and then I'm looking at, because there's already odds out because Vegas is wonderful on Micah Parsons' next team. But I'm looking at teams that I don't think are going to be very good, like the Jets, 8-1. Because if we're going to get their first-round picks, you don't want them to be in the 20s.
Exactly
all
right.
Yes.
So,
Raiders are the betting favorite at 5-1, Pittsburgh at 6-1, Chargers at 7-1, Jets 8-1, Colts 9-1. Rams are interesting at 12-1. So is Tennessee. I think he'd be great teammates with Cam Ward, and we know they're going to suck. I'm curious if Steven is fielding any calls. Does he look at who's calling and go, nope? Detroit at 18-1, but we know they're going to be good. So I don't want to trade with Detroit if we're just looking at first-round draft picks.
Well, there you go. That's a good point. So you bet on the Titans?
I mean, well, and then the other part of it, you get all those, and then you package those to move up with somebody, and really it depends on, is Arch Manning coming out or not? I don't know. Let's throw that out there.
Yeah, we might as well.
Since it's a spaghetti on the wall kind of scenario that isn't going to happen, I suppose you could go that way.
Absolutely, you could go that way. Why not? I mean, my goodness. This is a bombshell today that, quite frankly, I'm here for it. It's okay. Minix and I were talking about this on the way in. Man, we did a little drama today.
All honesty, Joe spoke this into existence.
Yeah.
Right? We had a incredible night last night.
Yes.
And you start at Nobu and you end at the Rudder Room. Now I will say, Rob and AJ dropped Joe and I off at the Rudder Room, and we probably should have went to the house, but we didn't. And we had a great time at the Rudder Room. And when I saw the time of my Uber when we actually got home, so this morning we were a little slow, understandable. And we came to work a lot earlier because the morning huddle guys, they drive us to work because, one rent car.
Yeah.
And they wanted to go right to bed. So we got actually out here early. So no slow moving into the day and figuring things out. And Joe was like, man, we need some drama today. Terry did it yesterday. Wouldn't it be great if Micah requested a trade? And that was before the Diana Rossini report.
That was.
This is all Joe Reinagle's fault.
I got my wish today.
Thank
I got my
goodness.
wish. Yes. So I did. And but we got our drama that we wanted. Micah Parsons requesting a trade. We are going to talk some football, though. I promise you. Cavante Turpin is going to join us at about 4:45. So about 10 minutes from right now. Cavante Turpin will be in here with us inside our mobile studio on the tennis courts here in Oxnard. I guess it's not mobile because you can't move this thing.
Well,
but we're in a tent.
Yeah, we're in a tent on the tennis courts.
The tent on the tennis courts.
We're not in studio, so we are mobile.
We are mobile.
I mean, you could go with that. See, what I tell you, Joe's moving a little slow.
A little bit.
I mean, the seals last night on the beach were barking with Joe Reinagle.
Nah, it wasn't that bad. Come on. Oh, my goodness. Cavante Turpin. He's going to join us next here on the Blitz. Our AA Best Bail Bonds Dallas Cowboys training camp coverage live from Oxnard, California. We'll continue here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
If you're a business owner, a manager, a club leader, and you need your logo on any kind of gear, get into Sammy's Embroidery and Printing down on San Pedro, especially if you need caps. Man, Sam has over 25,000 caps and more than 75 color combinations on display in his showroom. And all the popular cap brands, the Richardson 112 style, Trucker caps, Katie caps, Nike, Cap America, to name a few. If you need T-shirts, screen printed, go see Sam, especially this time of year with school about to get started. Your club, your organization, you need shirts made, Sam will get you taken care of. You need that logo on a nice golf shirt, a fishing shirt, any kind of shirt, go see Sam. He has all the big name brands, North Face, Eddie Bauer, Nike, Travis Matthew, Port Authority, to name a few. Over 700 uniform lines to choose from, all kinds of industries. Nobody has better prices, and Sam is the only company in Texas with one-day turnaround. No order too big, no order too small. So call Sammy's Embroidery and Printing, 210-824-3900, 210-824-3900, or get into that massive showroom on San Pedro. It's about a mile inside Loop 410, right there across from the McDonald's, or check the website, samsembroidery.com, for Sammy's Embroidery Club.
AA Best Bail Bonds coverage of Cowboys training camp live from Oxnard, California continues next on South Texas, home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star and the Gomez Law Firm present the second annual Back to School Drive this Saturday from 11 till 1 or while supplies last at the Gomez Law Firm, 2943 Moss Rock Drive. Free backpacks and school supplies for all school-age children while supplies last, so don't be late. This Saturday, 11 till 1, presented by the Gomez Law Firm, 2943 Moss Rock Drive. Sponsored in part by Las Palapas, Array, the College of Healthcare Professionals, and 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
With Progressive, you can reach customer service in the way that's easiest for you, by phone, app, or online. We know it would be great if we just magically appeared, but that's more of a genie thing, and we do insurance. But with us, you'd be like, well, it wasn't a genie, but it was great customer service, so that's nice. And sure, you probably would still like the whole 3 wishes thing, so if you meet a genie, you should definitely ask. But when you need us, contact Progressive by phone, app, or online. Just no genies. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates.
Some things can steal your sunshine. Ugh, I just got my hair done.
Sorry, the cooler's broken. Anyone see my flip-flops? Anyone?
But COVID-19 can steal a lot more. I just took a COVID test. Ugh. Prescription medications for COVID exist. If you test positive this summer, ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com/COVID-19 to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Life doesn't wait, and neither should you. Aleve can help you deal with pain less throughout your day. Whether it's a long day on your feet, a demanding workout, or everyday aches and pains, you need relief that can keep up when pain persists. Aleve is here for you with longer-lasting body pain relief compared to leading OTC branded pain relievers. With just one pill, Aleve lasts up to 12 hours. Don't let those aches hold you back from doing what's important to you. Use as directed.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just one cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025, Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
School's out, summer's in, and that vacation countdown is officially on. But what about your four-legged MVP? Bluebonnet Pumpkin Biscuit in Selma has your furry family member covered. Daycare, boarding, grooming, and training, they've got it all. They're built for your pet's health, happiness, and tail-wagging good times. If you're in the military, your teacher, or your first responder, they've got barking good exclusive discounts. So go ahead, book that trip, hit the beach, crush your summer plans. Bluebonnet Pumpkin Biscuit has your pet in good hands. Because home away from home isn't just for humans. Bluebonnet Pumpkin Biscuits in Selma.
See website for details. Bills Happen is not a lender and does not make credit decisions. Not available in all states.
Hey, bills happen! So when you need extra cash fast, go to billshappen.com. Have you been turned down? Are your credit cards maxed out? Do you have bad credit? Go to billshappen.com. All you need is a job and a checking account. You could find a lender and get up to $5,000 cash as early as tomorrow at billshappen.com. Billshappen.com is the smart way to get a personal lender now. So if you need extra money for car repairs, medical bills, family emergencies, whatever you need cash for, go to billshappen.com and you can get the money you need as soon as the next day, up to $5,000. At billshappen.com, our process is safe, secure, and all online. No one to deal with in person, and Bills Happen does not charge you any fees to use our service. It's easy. When you need a lender, just remember, when When bills happen, go to billshappen.com. Billshappen.com for the cash you need now. Billshappen.com.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Turn things all the way up and find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy.
San Antonio Sports Star, live from the Dallas Cowboys training camp, is brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds and sponsored in part by Southern Recipe Pork Rinds, Jim Beam, and AARP on South Texas, home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Lots happening here on the tennis courts in Oxnard, California, as we continue our AA Best Bail Bonds Dallas Cowboys training camp coverage from Oxnard, California on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe. He's Jason. Amari Cooper's retiring.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Well, that's today. When the phone doesn't ring.
Oh, that's today. Yes. Okay. I see what you're saying.
Well, and it is interesting. And maybe he is truly saying, all right, I'm done. But he's been on that list of best free agents available. And, it's kind of like I look out here with the Cowboys and I know that they're a little thin at the defensive back position with some injuries. Stephon Gilmore is available, but I think Gilmore is one that knows that, around August 18th, I'll sign.
Yeah,
right?
Training
I'm
camp.
not coming to training camp. I thought maybe Amari Cooper would be doing something similar, but at the same time, if he doesn't feel like he's right and ready to go, I suppose maybe it is real. Odd day to announce it, though, but it's one of those, if somebody needs a receiver and they call him, would he stay retired?
Probably not. I would imagine he'll stay in shape, and then if that phone rings, he'll probably be available. By the way, the Cowboys also signing a former Cowboy. Lyle Collins is back as a Dallas Cowboy, signing him to help create a little depth here at training camp.
Well, the offensive line has dealt with so many injuries that you needed somebody. Now, Lyle Collins was here a couple of years ago. Last year, he was in training camp with Buffalo, didn't make the final roster. And it's interesting. And, of course, everybody says they're in great shape, right? But, at the same time, you look at a knee bend or how your hips are doing. It's one thing to be in shape. But even Dak Prescott was talking yesterday about Lyle Collins coming in to try to earn a spot with the team.
Saw him back there, actually, and it was a very joyous reunion. I mean, LC's a guy that I love. Y'all know that. He's a friend well beyond the field. Me and LC just went fishing this offseason, seeing him time and time again, whether it be different guys, retirement parties. And honestly, when I was in those time of those retirement parties or those announcements, I mean, I was saying to myself and honestly grabbing Britt and people around here that know him and saying, man, I feel like he's looks as good as he's ever looked and is in better shape than, I've ever seen him. And so just to see him again and just see the excitement. And, I was holding MJ at the time and he's telling her, I'm going to protect your daddy. And so nobody's going to get him. I want to hear that. And I'm sure she does too. So I'm just super excited for him to get his opportunity, understanding how much he loves the game and how much joy he can bring to the locker room. It wouldn't only be a benefit to obviously me and my comfort level with him, but the other guys in the room as well and the young guys, and just a mentality and an attitude that he plays with and practices with. The guy spent time growing up in this league with Tyron Smith, Zach Martin, and Travis Frederick, that he knows how it's supposed to look and he knows how to do things the right way. And so hopefully he kills this workout.
And obviously he did, because the Cowboys have signed him. So he is a member of the Dallas Cowboys. But it almost reminds me, and they need bodies here in training camp, there's no doubt, with all the injuries, but almost like you got a lot of young fellas on that offensive line. Lyle Collins coming in here just in the Chris Paul role, maybe.
Yeah, but to a degree, true. And if he truly did need this much time to get his body right, cool. Maybe it can work out. We saw Jason Peters at 40 years old recently. Yeah. Still able to get it done and played well for the Cowboys. Maybe. But, we were talking to Nate Newton earlier, just kind of shooting the breeze, and he was like, man, in shape's one thing, but, your knee bend was a problem last time, and your knees and your hips, and are you able to do that over and over? There is a difference between being in shape and being able to play on the offensive line in the NFL.
Yeah, there's no question about it. So good to have him back, though. And again, what we count, 7 offensive linemen right now are out. So the Cowboys need some bodies here at training camp. Does it go beyond that? Only time will tell. But Lyle Collins, again, is a member of the Dallas Cowboys.
And one of the other things that Dak Prescott was talking about, and obviously, there's so much talk about the wide receivers with the addition of Pickens. But, when Mike McCarthy took over play calling from Kellen Moore, Mike was very honest in saying it'll probably be about 6 games before everybody's on the same page. So do you take that same mindset now that Schottenheimer is the play caller and whatever changes he is making? But Dak Prescott was saying yesterday the offense is really turning the corner.
I think it's a little bit of everything. One, obviously, it's settling into the offense, and then 2, it's got just being on the same page. As you get into, little nuances and different ways an offense or play can be ran and attacked, it's about communicating, through the pick yesterday, throwing it to CD. And I was just one that, pure communication, right? Pure communication. If CD looks, that's a catch on his part, but there's a valid reason why he didn't look, right? And so just talking that out and discussing, hey, you're CD and you're in that position, it's a void. I know that's not where 90% of that ball gets thrown, but I'm going to throw that ball to you, right? And so George had one today on a slant, or a glance, and, it was just his tempo getting into there that could not be a great play if he doesn't tempo that in there, right? And I'd have to get off of that. All that just comes with the camaraderie. And the better the camaraderie is, the easier those conversations are to talk and to correct people on. And the more that we get these reps in the offense, the more we're going to feel, gelled into each other and just getting out there and playing fast and not thinking. And so I think that was what today was, some examples of that.
I find it interesting. George Pickens was on the podium earlier today before the news broke about Micah Parsons, but he's a very confident dude. And I say confident, he's not cocky. He's just very confident in his ability to do what he does. And, says he's getting on the same page with Dak, and they're getting things done.
And one of the things that I've learned about Pickens since he's been here, and Dak talked about this, the dude is more than just a go deep kind of guy.
Yeah, honestly, more versatile than I would say that I thought before we got him, And then now having him, as I've continued to say over and over, it's a guy that loves the game of football. So everything that you give him and the more you give him, he's going to answer that bell, and he wants more as much as he can. So I don't want to say I'm surprised, but he does have every tool in the bag, and it's fun to be able to get out there. And as we just said, in different periods, different throws, different kind of routes, different coverages for him to make plays. Just show he's a big-time guy, and to have another guy like that alongside CD is just going to be fun.
It is going to be fun, especially in the red zone. And Pickens was talking about that today, that he loves the red zone because of his size. He is, what is, I don't know what he is. 6'3". He's up there. And most defensive backs are 5'9", 5'10". So he's got an advantage over those defensive backs, and he said as much today.
Yeah, he's confident.
He was talking about small guys.
He was.
I looked right at you.
You son of a – but it's true. I was offended, right? No, not really. But he is bigger in person than you would think he is.
Yeah.
All right? He just is. I mean, you see 6'3", and not everybody is the same 6'3" or 6'2" or whatever it is. I mean, he looks at, like what is CD Lamb listed at? Because I know CD is listed at 6'2".
And CD looks pretty damn tall.
But George Pickens looks like, holy cow. I mean, it's like when we saw Joe Milton, who's 6'5", and he just towers over Dak Prescott, who is 6'2", right? I mean, but sometimes you just look at somebody, you're like, wow. And so all of them are saying the right things here in August.
Yes.
And, we've seen, I mean, George Pickens yesterday was incredible. He had a great catch on the Sunday practice that we saw. He's making some plays. And, he had a couple of deep balls, and you were like, oh, Deron Bland just got beat on those. And he did.
He did.
Well, Tuesday, they're going to go against the Rams. So it'll be interesting to see the first look with these guys going against somebody not with the star on their helmet. And Dak Prescott talked about that as well because, Tuesday, that's important to him because he ain't going to play in the preseason games.
Yeah, very important. As important as pretty much any of these practices are, especially, you're putting in these installs, getting new looks. This is a new defense for me, than I faced them, I guess, last year, right, in the year before. So all of it is, but it's definitely important when, you're playing a team that you could play later in the year and just wanting to go out there and put a good product on tape. And at the end of the day, it's going to be about making sure I lead the guys and make sure they know how important it is for all of us. And not necessarily just me or the guys who aren't playing in the preseason, but how important it is for us to get game-like reps against another team that we're going to need to use some of these plays and conversations and things that are going to come up in this practice to do us well and for our benefit. And whether they're good or bad, I think if anything, the communication and the films after this practice are what's going to be monumental. So super excited about it. Got to do it last year, and I thought it was huge. So I'm looking forward to it again.
Yeah, no doubt. It's going to be a lot of fun next week when the Rams get in here for sure. We just had Kavonte Turpin walk into our tent here in Oxnard, and we're going to visit with him because somebody challenged you today, man. We're going to talk about that. I don't know if you've heard about this yet or not, but somebody challenged you. We'll do that when we continue here on the Blitz, live from Oxnard. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
AA Best Bail Bonds coverage of Cowboys training camp live from Oxnard, California continues next on South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
180!
Get it first. Get it fast. Get it now. Full coverage of Dallas Cowboys training camp brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds and sponsored in part by Southern Recipe Pork Rinds, Jim B, and AARP. Live from Oxnard, California. KTFM, Floresville, South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Listen up, San Antonio. A huge land sale event is taking place this Saturday, August 2nd, just minutes from exciting New Braunfels, one of the fastest growing areas of Texas. This event starts at 10 a.m. this Saturday, where large 1 to 5 acre home sites will be priced from only $39,900. Here's a rare opportunity to own large acreage in one of the most desirable areas of Texas at a fraction of the cost. The property features a multi-million-dollar clubhouse, resort pool, sport courts, huge hardwoods, dozens of live water tracks, high elevations, and beautiful sunsets. Plus, it's located just minutes from New Braunfels and beautiful Landa Park. All of this for under $40,000. Call now 800-675-1800 and ask about the grand opening of the Overlook on August 2nd. This Saturday, large 1 to 5 acre home sites will be sold from only $39,900. Call 800-675-1800. Call now 800-675-1800.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jason Garrett with Arasti. If you're tired of pain slowing you down from a recent injury or something that's been nagging you for years, we can help. At Arasti, we've earned the trust of over 8,000 physicians by delivering fast, lasting pain relief without painkillers or surgery. Our hands-on approach targets the root cause of pain, and most patients see results in just one visit. No referral needed, and it's covered by most insurance plans. So don't wait. Visit Arasti.com. That's AIRROSTI.com. Arasti. We fix pain fast.
Get in on live quarter horse racing every weekend at Retama Park. This Saturday is family fun night with great activities for the kids, with free admission for kids 5 and under. Nothing beats quarter horse racing when you get playpen rewards with every wager. And don't forget, on August 8th, it's the annual Diamond Dig presented by America's Diamond, where the winner receives a beautiful diamond necklace. Enjoy terrace dining along with San Antonio's best sports bar, Clubhouse 95. With live music every Friday night. Visit retamapark.com for all the details.
Circa Million and Circa Survivor are back with a massive $21 million in guaranteed prizes. Circa Million. Pick 5 games against the spread each week. 126 ways to win with $6 million guaranteed. Circa Survivor, 1 pick a week. No point spread. Last the longest to win it all. $15 million guaranteed. Enter in Nevada. Play from anywhere. $21 million guaranteed. Visit circasports.com for details.
Evan Cohen here. Whether you're locking in your home run picks or riding with your favorite golfers this summer, ESPN Bet is your sports book for all the action. Go from checking stats on your favorite teams and players to placing bets in just a few taps. Plus, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with promo code USL to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. With that kind of money, you could go big time. The next time you're out to dinner with friends, you can order the shrimp cocktail for the table. And maybe you'll realize it only comes with 4 shrimp after you've already given away 3, but that one shrimp will be so good. And if you switch and save hundreds, you could get shrimp all the time. Switch to Progressive and you could save big time. For shrimp. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Potential savings will vary.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
That is the news of the day. Cowboys pass rusher Micah Parsons has officially requested a trade from the Cowboys. Released a statement today saying, in part, unfortunately, I no longer want to be here. The NFL and ESPN reached a blockbuster agreement that will place many of the league's top media holdings with the sports network in exchange for equity in ESPN.
SportsCenter is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas Authority in Barricade Rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the 3rd time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
And it's Friday here in Oxnard on the tennis courts as our Dallas Cowboys training camp coverage continues here live on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. And well, we got one of those Dallas Cowboys in here with us today, Jason Minix.
Absolutely. Cavante Turpin joining us here on the Blitz. And Cavante, first off, we got to talk about the depth chart that they put, because I'm a tall 5'7". It says you're 5'7", but you're taller than me.
Hey, I don't know what they doing, man. I'm a cool 5'8", 5'9", man. That's how I think.
You think you're 5'8", 5'9"?
For sure.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It's like
probably
me thinking
probably 5'7" with my shoes off.
Yeah.
You know how they do it in the NFL draft day. Probably 5'7" then.
I mean, pretty soon you'll be 6'1".
I hope so.
He's still growing, right?
I hope so.
Oh my goodness, Cavante! Just first and foremost, how are things going for you out there?
I feel good, man. I feel like Shotty finding ways to get me the ball out there, and I feel like I'm stepping up to the plate, and I feel like I'm doing great with the playbook. Whatever they throw at me, like running back, outside receiver, inside receiver, and I feel like I'm doing good with it.
Cavante, when you look at a new offensive coordinator or head coach, but play caller, how much different is the playbook this year than last year?
But I really say we got like down the field throws. Last year we really had like short game, quick game, roll out play. But now we got like a lot of down the field throws, like big 20-yard bombs, 40-yard bombs. So that's why I say the big difference. Shot around the link down the field. Especially when guys want to play us man, want to do cover zero, and all that. We're gonna take big shots down the field.
Just the overall atmosphere out there, Cavante. I mean, everybody that we've had on here, they're buying in. They love the new culture and the energy that Shotty is bringing. You like what he's doing?
Yeah, man. I was just saying, man, Shotty, he's a player coach, man. He's doing everything to make sure everybody stay healthy. We always competing. Like we got a basketball goal in the team meeting room. Just to have fun with it. And I feel like Shotty bringing that that energy. For everybody to compete everywhere we go.
But he's also a little bit of a disciplinarian. When was the last time you had to run sprints after practice?
Yeah, I'll say back in high school, man. We need that, man. We need that discipline. Like they said, man, talent was never an issue here. it's always been a discipline. And I feel like Shotty, he's on the road with, giving everybody on the right track.
Cavante Turpin joining us here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Cavante, there's going to be a Lifetime movie about you, man. I mean, your story is pretty remarkable. I mean, when you sit here and you're out there on the practice field, you're playing at Jerry World, and you're in the NFL. You worked hard to get here, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What has it been like?
I just say, man, it's been a long journey, man. Ups and downs, coming out of college. But now, man, I just feel like, man, I'm in a great headspace, since I've been in the league. And I just feel like, man, I'm great, and I'm always blessed, man. I always say God always been my glory, and I'm just happy to be here.
I remember a couple of years ago when you showed up for a chance at making this team, and it was, you were talking about, just the wow factor that you had an NFL helmet coming off what you did in the USFL, and now you got that contract and the security that comes with it. I mean, yes, your road, certainly not smooth and well-traveled, but, just getting here, but not saying, okay, I've achieved the goal. Now, how do you continue to motivate yourself to keep going?
I just say, man, I always had a chip on my shoulder, man. Every time I go out there, I'm the smallest guy on the field. So I feel like, man, I just got to play with my heart. I always been like, man, no matter if I do make it to the NFL, man, that's not the goal. The goal is always just to stay here, show the people that I belong here. And I just feel like I do that over the years, and I'm going to continue to do it.
Well, you're versatile, right? I mean, kick returner, wide receiver, whatever they ask you to do, you're doing it. Do you have a favorite?
I'll say my favorite, I played running back growing up. That was my favorite position. But, growing up, all the guys told me I was too small. So that's when I switched to switched to receiver. And I just say, man, I'm just versatile, man. Whatever they throw my way, man, I'm going to try to go out there and do it. They can throw me a tight end, block this DN. I'm going to do my best at it. I just feel like that's always been, who I am.
Well, you say that, you look at a guy like Deuce Vaughn, who not the biggest guy in the room, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's here in the NFL, your road to get here, but you do so many things. But, dude, returning punts has got to be one of the craziest things anybody in football can do.
Yes, sir, man.
And you love that.
Yeah, I love it. A lot of people scared to, do the punt return, because they can't see, the guys running full speed. They got to keep their eyes on the ball. I feel like, man, I was built to do that. I did it when, like, growing up, playing out. We had a thing called high ball. If people throw the ball in the air, you got to catch it. We got guys in front of you. And I just feel like, man, that's what helped me, to do those things.
You got to have a certain kind of thought process, though, to be a punt returner, right? I mean, no fear, obviously.
Yeah. My thought process when I be back there, man, I can't even say it, man. I just be back there just trying to get the ball pretty much, man, at the same time, because, I don't get too many offensive snaps, and I just be trying to get the ball, man. My thought process be like, man, I'm trying to score. That's the only thing I be worried about pretty much. I don't worry about the guys coming down, and I just feel like they ain't going to tackle me pretty much. So when I get the ball in my hands, I'm just trying to score pretty much.
Not to sound too knucklehead here, but with your size, does that keep the dudes that are trying to tackle you from getting that big, clean hit on you just because it's a smaller target?
Yeah, I say, man, back in college, man, I used to always, like, tweak my bodies for I can take big hits, it's the small fracture, guys, they used to hitting big guys, big swole guys. And I just feel like, man, with my speed, it's a difficult for them guys.
Now, it's got to be a great feeling when you get ahead of the pack and there's nobody going to catch you.
Oh yeah, once I get past that first wave, it's over with.
It's done.
Yeah, it's done. Yeah.
Nobody's going to walk you down?
Oh, never.
Are you the fastest guy on this team?
Man, everybody knows I'm the fastest on the team.
I don't think everybody knows
Not
that.
everybody.
Not everybody. This morning, Jaden Blue was on our morning show, and this is what he said in answering the question, who is the fastest guy on the team?
Are you the fastest dude on the team?
I think so.
Well, who's the contender?
Probably Turp.
Turp?
Yeah.
Are you guys going to race by the end of some
camp?
time. We need to settle this.
I'm not sure. Somebody asked me the other day, was I faster? I say yeah, but I don't know yet. But I think so. But we'll probably have to see.
I think at some point.
It sounds like a challenge to me, Turp.
Hey man, whatever he want to do, we can do it, man. Whatever he want to do, man. He don't sound confident that he the fastest. I sound confident that I'm the fastest in the NFL.
In the NFL.
Come on now.
All right.
I'm confident about saying that.
So even like Tyreek Hill?
Tyreek Hill can get it. He know he can get it. I told him plenty of times he can get it. Yeah.
So do we need like at the Pro Bowl, like a 100-meter race?
Yeah, we can do it. We can do 60 meters.
60 meters.
60, yeah.
Okay.
Nobody want to run 100 for real.
Well, but the football field's 100.
Yeah, we can do 60.
Do 60.
60, yeah.
All right.
I'll smoke them.
You'd smoke them at 60, but what about 100?
I don't know about 100. I can't keep that speed all the way to 100. I read the 100 in high school. My fastest was a 10.2. You feel me? But I really just can't keep that speed. But now 60, I'll smoke them for sure.
You smoke them. I love that. See, I love the confidence here, man.
Yeah.
So
100%.
if you catch a punt at the 40, you know you're taking that to the house.
I'm taking that to the house for sure.
But if you catch it at the 5,
See,
you're going to get walked down at the 15?
No. See, football is different. It's different. You know, guys don't run that fast. You know, I run fast no matter what I'm doing. You feel me? So track, yeah, that's two different like speeds. Football and track. But football, no, nobody catch me on the football field. No.
So you ran track in high school. Football, did you always play? You said you played running back. What other sports did you play?
I played basketball too.
Really?
Yeah, I played basketball. I was a big basketball star. Yeah, I played the summer league EYBL circuit. Like that's the big Nike circuit that everybody go to. Like all the top basketball guys. Like I played against Andrew Wiggins. I played Andrew Wiggins. I played with a guy named Malik Newman. He from Mississippi. He was like the #1 guy coming out of the 2015 class. You know, I played with him. You know, special guy, man. I think he playing overseas right now. You know, he was like the #1 guy coming out of 2015. You know, he was the best.
Devontae Turpin joining us here on the Blitz on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. Special teams is one thing, offense is another. Pickens comes in. All the talk is CeeDee Lamb and GP. You've been a big part of this offense. People aren't talking about that as much. How does Dak get everybody the ball? You add in Ferguson and the running backs. I mean, everybody says the right thing, but when it comes to targets, everybody gets hungry too.
Yeah. Like I said, man, everybody gets hungry. Everybody wants the ball, but, you know, there's only one football out there, man. I just feel like everybody just got to do their job, you know, be in the right spot for Dak. You know, Dak going to find a way to get all of us because, you know, all of us are playmakers. So he's going to find a way to get all of us the ball. I just feel like, you know, like George Pickens, you know, me, CD, Ferg, all of us just got to do our job and be there for Dak.
Well, it sounds to me like that's rich people problems, man. You got a lot of weapons out there, and it's going to be difficult for defenses. It sounds like
very difficult. Very difficult. Like, you know, like George Pickens said, they're the Mario Bros, and they add me. I'm Yoshi. I'm Yoshi.
Now, both of you guys can go deep, right? Which you think about, the line gives Dak enough time. It's not just you going down there. You got two guys now that can run deep. I mean, just the explosiveness this offense should have this year. What are like the offensive goals for the season?
I mean, you know, the offensive goal is, you know, be the best in the league. You know, that's our goal. You know, be the best. You know, I know the guys want to be the best duo in the league. You know, with the receiver group, and I just feel like, man, at the end of the day, you know, everybody do their job, and I feel like we're gonna be the best offense in the whole NFL history. You know, and I feel like that's what we're going for.
Yeah, I think you've certainly got the makings of that. Devontae, what do you do when you're not playing football?
You know what I mean? I got 2 kids, man. So I try to do my best, you know, try to be there for my kids, you know, with the time off. You know, we don't really get too much time off with the football season. So, you know, I really just try to, you know, do things with my kids, man, do things with my girl, and do things with my family, you know. Now, my family, we're from Monroe, Louisiana, you know, they ain't never seen stuff like this, things like this, you know. So I really just try to let them see things, it ain't too much in Louisiana. So I try to help them, you know, see the world pretty much.
Yeah, well, nice. And look, I mean, you've traveled an incredible journey. I'm a big spring football fan, and your time in the USFL got you here, and, you know, other players trying to make it. You're an example. I know Daryl Johnston always says, well, it was our MVP, and look what he's doing now, and that's the goal, man.
Yeah, that's the goal, man. That's the goal. And my advice to those guys in the spring league, man, just trust yourself, man. Trust in yourself, man. Keep faith in God, man. I'm sure, man. You know, you bet on yourself every time, man, it gonna work out.
You know, Devontae, we've got a team in San Antonio. The talent in that league, it's pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty good. You know, especially when they merged the leagues with XFL and the USFL and just made it to one, man. I just feel like, man, it's a great spring football league, man. I'm happy for those guys that they get the opportunity to, you know, showcase their performance out there.
Do you ever talk to a guy that's in one of the spring leagues, which obviously in the hub city and the way they do things. Then you're out here in the NFL and you're like, yeah, the way we get treated in the NFL is worth it, man. But do the extra sit-up, do the extra push-up, right?
Yeah, like my guy, man. One of the guys from my hometown played in San Antonio. His name was Rashard Lawrence. He played D tackle for the San Antonio Braves. I guess that's what they call
Brahmas.
Yeah, Brahmas. Yeah, and I just feel like, man, I told him, man, just keep faith in yourself, man. You was in this league once, you was a big time guy. Just stick with it, man. And it's always gonna come back to you.
That's awesome, man. Dude, we got to settle something, man. I've been trying to keep this here. Jason says he's 5'7". You're listed at 5'8".
I'm listed at. He said I'm listed at 5'7".
He's listed at 5'7", but it's
go stand over there.
Let's find out.
Well, look.
No, let's settle this once and for all, man.
I mean, there's
in front of the camera
here that
I'm just saying we got to settle this once and for all.
Let's find out.
Jason Minnick says he's a tall 5'7". We're gonna see, and Cavante's listed at 5'7" on the chart. Both got shoes on, dude. He's got you by 2 inches. Are you kidding me? What do you think, bro? 2 inches, right? There you go. All right, you saw it yourself. Cavante, man, we wish you the best of luck this season, man. We appreciate your time and appreciate you coming by and visiting with us.
Yeah, man, I want to appreciate y'all for having me, man. Anytime y'all need me, man, I'll come over and have fun with you guys, man. I appreciate you for having me.
I appreciate off the tiptoes next time.
Appreciate y'all.
That's awesome, man. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. Cavante Turpin joining us here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Our AA Best Bail Bonds Dallas Cowboys training camp coverage continues in a moment.
Must be 18 plus and present in Texas.
AA Best Bail Bonds coverage of Cowboys training camp live from Oxnard, California.
Deposit-match-term.
On South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Antonio Sports Star and the Gomez Law Firm present the second annual Back to School Drive this Saturday from 11 till 1 p.m. or while supplies last at the Gomez Law Firm, 2943 Moss Rock Drive. Free backpacks and school supplies for all school-age children while supplies last, so don't be late. Presented by the Gomez Law Firm, 2943 Moss Rock Drive. Sponsored in part by North Park Toyota, Centromed, Romo Door Supply, Lighthouse Public Schools, and 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Calling all snack MVPs, it's time to huddle up with Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds, the low-carb, high-protein snack with a flavor-packed crunch. From sea salt and cracked black pepper to hot honey, sweet barbecue, and more, these bold bites are ready to tackle your crunch time cravings. Find your flavor playbook at H-E-B and make every bite count, because when it's crunch time, there's only one snack you need on your team. Southern Recipe Small Batch.
Hi, my name is Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney here in San Antonio where I've practiced for more than 30 years. And San Antonio has really grown since I started practicing law. The risk of injury in a car crash today is greater than it's ever been, because every day we're forced to share our roads with 80,000-pound 18-wheelers and some truly dangerous drivers. If you or a family member is injured in a car crash, know this: the insurance companies are mobilized against you. They have highly trained adjusters and a long roster of attorneys with one job: pay as little as possible. Their techniques are extensive, and I believe you have zero chance of obtaining a fair recovery on your own. If you're involved in a car crash, you need to hire an attorney as soon as possible after the collision and before you speak to the insurance company's adjusters. Now, I do not have a comic book nickname. I do not call myself the Law Eagle, the Tiger Lawyer, the Law Chupacabra. I think the practice of law needs to be taken more seriously. If you've been injured, call me, Jason Thompson, for a free consultation. My number is 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400, or my website, alawyerforus.com.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. With that kind of money, you could go big time. The next time you're out to dinner with friends, you can order the shrimp cocktail for the table. And maybe you'll realize it only comes with 4 shrimp after you've already given away 3, but that one shrimp will be so good. And if you switch and save hundreds, you could get shrimp all the time. Switch to Progressive and you could save big time for shrimp. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Potential savings will vary.
Find what you love and love what you find at Total Wine and More. The place to go for sipping rosés with seltzers on ice, making margaritas with your favorite tequilas. It's warm out, let's go. Our prices are low on spirits, beer, and wine. You're gonna find what you love and love what you find.
Only at Total Wine and More. Drink responsibly. B21.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like to check the GPS directions first before driving to the mall.
Turn right at the light. In 1,000 miles, you will reach Montreal.
Not Montreal, the mall.
Recalculating. 6,000 miles to Nepal.
No, the mall.
Checking first is smart.
Recalculating.
So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
San Antonio Sports Star, live from Dallas Cowboys training camp, is brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds, and sponsored in part by Southern Recipe Pork Rinds, Jim Beam, and AARP on South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Oh, it is Friday. We've made it. Friday is here. Beautiful day in Oxnard, California. I hope you're having a great day back in San Antonio or wherever you happen to be listening to. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. We continue our AA Best Bail Bonds Dallas Cowboys training camp coverage live from Oxnard. I'm Joe. That's Jason. And, the big news of the day, Micah Parsons dropping a bomb.
Micah Parsons, Firework Friday, because – my goodness, and I blame Joe Reinagel. He spoke this into existence. He was hoping that this would certainly be the case when we were dragging in this morning after a night at Nobu at the Jerry Jones party. We needed some drama, and Micah certainly delivered. He has requested a trade. By now, I'm going to guess that you have all seen it on social media. If you haven't, Micah tweeted out a lot of detail, a lot more detail than what we know. And you appreciate that because it's not speculation. It's not sources. It is from Micah Parsons. Now, you could choose whether you believe it all or not, but that is his side of what was said. It's like Stephen Jones said the other day to a reporter, 90% of what you're asking isn't true, but it's being reported.
Yep.
And so you don't always know exactly what is true. Now, Jane Slater from the NFL Network, she just tweeted out, quote-tweeted Micah. It's a long tweet. I'm not going to read all of it. But she quote-tweeted Micah saying, listen, the Cowboys internally had whispered the idea of trading Micah 2 seasons ago. I was told Jerry was absolutely against it. Micah would rub teammates the wrong way with the podcast comments at times, saying he was a leader, then not showing it at times. And as one coach told Jane Slater, quote, nearly every player was in my office telling us we needed to do something about him.
And I believe it. I mean, you heard the comments on this podcast, and we would say the same thing. It's like, this can't happen. He can't throw his teammates under the bus. Not only that, it was never his fault. Anything. It was always somebody else's fault. So we talked about that. And that doesn't surprise me that they were thinking about trading Micah at one time, but Jerry's the boss and he said no.
Well, and he did. And again, 2 years ago, imagine what the trade value would be. Now, whoever were to trade for him, if a trade were to come down, would be Khalil Mack. That trade would be the floor. So you're looking at least 2 first-rounders, but it is value down. It's all about timing, knowing that he's going into the final year of his deal. Now, that said, the Cowboys can tag him twice. So the Cowboys technically control Micah Parsons' future for 3 years. It could also mean, piss Micah off to the point where he requests a trade. Then, Jerry can blame Micah for ultimately wanting out. We've asked other reporters here, when was the last time a star player actually requested out of Dallas? And nobody can come up with one.
Can't come up with anything. Even Emmitt Smith, back when he held out and missed a couple of games, never requested a trade. Look, it's difficult to request a trade from Dallas Cowboys, no matter what you think of them. And I know the drought, the Super Bowl drought, the NFC Championship drought, all of that aside, this is still the best franchise in the National Football League when it comes to a variety of things. And some of you may agree with that, some of you may not, but the fact of the matter is, it is. And there's a lot of players around this league that would like to wear that star in their helmet.
Well, and again, I just look at all of this. When it's all said and done, I still think a contract gets worked out. I really do. But I think this delays it because Jerry does care about optics. And if he were to get a deal done this weekend, it would look like he caved. And you look at recent history, all the big name players that wanted new contracts that had disputes with Jerry ultimately got their deals done about the money that was all reported that everybody was expecting them to get. I don't know what the Cowboys gained from doing it this way, but the Cowboys will do the deal when Jerry's damn ready to do the deal.
Exactly. And again, this trade demand today, a request, whatever you want to call it, doesn't change anything. It doesn't. Micah, why he did it, maybe just a vent, maybe it's a plan with him and his agent to try and get the ball rolling. I don't know his reasoning, but it changes nothing. The Cowboys still have Micah under contract, and they still have the ability to franchise tag him if they so choose for 2 years. So it doesn't change anything. And to me, honestly, it just makes Micah look bad and immature, quite frankly.
I agree with that. And part of me, really, it's the first day of August. We haven't even gotten to the Cowboys' first preseason game. I say that knowing that there was a preseason game that was played last night. But it seems pretty early for Micah to play this card. I got to believe that his agent was on board with this coming out. Now, he might have been talking about it. Diana Rossini from The Athletic is the first to report it this morning. We talked to John Machota earlier here on the Blitz from The Athletic, and we're in California and Rossini's in New York, and she was calling John way too early this morning to get whatever info, but go with the story because it's out there. And a couple hours after the story, you get the tweet from Micah. Now, but Micah did put it out there. It's very similar to what Myles Garrett did when he put out a letter, love you, Cleveland, but I want to win a Super Bowl. It's never been about money. I want to go somewhere to win. Then he was on Super Bowl Radio Row saying the same thing. And then ultimately he got all that money from Cleveland. It worked for him. And so
but the Super Bowl part.
Well, I mean, but the getting paid part.
Yes.
So Micah's talking in his statement today that he was willing to leave some money on the table. I think we all call BS on that, including when he said it last December in a TV interview when he said he doesn't have to be the highest paid. His agent wants him to be the highest paid. The union wants him to be the highest paid. Nobody leaves money on the table. The union frowns upon that. And when you're getting your first contract, you go get every nickel you can get. So I am a little surprised at the timing that he would play this card, especially since he showed up at training camp. Because if he were to leave camp, massive penalties if he is gone for more than 5 days.
Yeah, I mean, again, he has no leverage here. And that's the crazy part about it. But having said all of that, I mean, he's been here for the Dak contract. He's been here for the CD contract. He knows those guys got paid. Now, maybe he regrets showing up to training camp. That's a possibility. But he knows those guys eventually got paid. And I don't know, unless there's something that's been said between Micah and Jerry that we don't know about that makes him believe this is not going to happen for whatever reason. But you kind of got to feel pretty good about this is going to get done. Just go out, do what you're doing, do your job, and you're going to get paid. So I don't understand this today. Again, I'm with you on the timing. I don't understand the timing of it. They're not going to trade him unless somebody just blows their doors off with an offer. And so it didn't change a thing other than give us a great topic today on our final day in Oxnard.
Well, and that's it. And again, I look at, the reports of it followed up by a tweet from Micah's brother saying, don't believe anything you read if you don't hear from Micah, to Micah actually putting it out there. And the detail in which Micah put it out there was probably a little surprising. By all accounts, the Cowboys have no intentions of trading Micah. You can request a trade all you want. That doesn't mean you're going to get one. And if you really see somebody calling the Cowboys with an offer that they can't refuse. But I would say that, that's a call that would have been made or could have been made several months ago by a team. Like, hey, do you really want to sign Micah? Did you really ever intend to pay all three of these guys? If one is expendable, which one would it be? You could, and we talked about this last year during the conversations. Excuse me. Can they afford all three? You don't have a replacement for Dak Prescott, so you knew he was going to get signed. CeeDee Lamb is a special wide receiver. And as great as Micah Parsons is, you can hide losing him on defense a hell of a lot easier than you can a CeeDee Lamb or a quarterback.
I agree with that. Look, I would assume the Cowboys maybe have gotten some offers, maybe kicked the tires on a trade presentation. But, again, they're not going to give them away. They're just not. And so it would have to be an offer that blows their doors off, or they're not going to. But, again, I don't think that I said it before, it changes nothing. I still believe Mike is going to get paid. And when that happens, it happens. But, again, I think this letter, this statement, this request has delayed the process. And I think if Jerry does something now or even this weekend, it's going to be turned into Jerry caved because Micah made a trade request. And I don't think Jerry wants to deal with that.
No, Jerry will sign him when he's ready. And by all accounts, based on what Micah put out today, while he and Jerry Jones did have meetings in the spring where details of the contract were discussed, Jerry thought that was a deal. Micah says he did not know that was an actual negotiation. If you buy that. I don't know how you get into details like that and not realize that that's a deal. I could see Jerry. All right, we got a deal, man. We'll get the lawyers to figure out the paperwork. Shake hands, hug it out, and off you go. Kind of felt like it was close to getting done until Mulligetta said, well, wait a minute. And who knows? But since then, it doesn't appear that either side has traded numbers. And that's the one thing that we have not heard in all the Micah contract rumors are what numbers are. I can promise you, if the Cowboys tried to lowball Micah Parsons, Mulligetta
would have
leaked it out.
Yes.
This is what they're offering. Or Micah would have just gone on Twitter and talked about a lowball, disrespectful offer. I can also promise you, if Mulligetta would have asked for way more than market value, we would have heard Micah wants whatever that number would have been.
Right.
So I do believe Micah's post today when he essentially says there has been no real talks at all. And the Cowboys are in no hurry because they know they've got 3 years. And the other fact is we know that the floor right now for Micah Parsons is ahead of T.J. Watt. So if that's the case, you're looking at around 42. If they franchise tag him next year, he's going to make around 27, 28. That's a hell of a lot cheaper than 42.
Well, it really is. And who knows? That could be Jerry's plan. I know that, Jerry's old school. He thinks contracts mean something. He should know better because he's been dealing with it here in the NFL for a while, and that's not the way it works anymore. However, he's under contract. He can't go anywhere else unless the Cowboys trade him. And Jerry and Jones controls him for this year and 2 more if he so chooses to tag him. So I really don't see the leverage that Micah has here other than just being a great defensive player and a good pass rusher. Obviously, the Cowboys want him to play football for the Dallas Cowboys. So it's a weird situation. But again, the request, Jason, I don't think did anything, and I think it just makes Micah look bad.
It's drama with the Dallas Cowboys.
And it's a day that ends in Y. So that's just the way that it is. All right, we're going to take a break, but when we come back, we're going to wrap things up, believe it or not, from Oxnard. I hate that. It always goes by really quickly, but it was a great final day. We'll do that when we continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
If you're watching baseball this weekend and the new-look Astros and you want to add a little bit more excitement, make sure you're playing the Pick'em game at Underdog, one of the leading sports apps that you can play in Texas to make all your sports picks, and it's a lot of fun to play. In fact, there's over 100,000 five-star reviews on the Underdog app. All you need to do is download the app and play the Pick'em game where you're choosing higher or lower on predicted stats. It's strikeouts, total bases, so much more. Play for as little as $1, and you could win up to 1,000 times your money. So download the Underdog app. Use promo code STAR when you get signed up. That will unlock a special offer of up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you make your first deposit. Again, use my promo code STAR when you get signed up at Underdog.
Must be 18 plus and present in Texas. Terms apply. See underdogfantasy.com/web/deposit-match-terms. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
AA Best Bail Bonds coverage of Cowboys training camp live from Oxnard, California continues next on South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. Want to see Dallas take on Atlanta at AT&T Stadium? AARP is hooking you up. I want winners. Just head to sasportstar.com and register to win a pair of tickets to the Cowboys' final preseason game, Friday, August 22nd at 6 p.m. Cowboys! It's your chance to catch America's team live before the regular season kicks off. I like this kind of party! From AARP and 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Hi, my name's Jason Thompson. I've lived in San Antonio for more than 50 years. Went to grade school, high school, and graduated from law school right here. San Antonians have trusted me as their attorney after serious injury and fatality collision since 1994. My website is alawyerforus.com. Why a lawyer for us? Well, after several years of practice, I watched as insurance companies created their own law firms solely to defend against auto claims. Today, there are very few insurance companies that do not have their own captive law firm filled with attorneys whose job is to minimize what the insurance company has to pay on an auto claim. If you or a family member is injured in a traffic collision, you will need your own attorney. Just remember alawyerforus.com. For many lawyers you see on billboards, your case will be handled by a non-lawyer or a staff lawyer. If you call me, Jason Thompson, I will be the lawyer you speak with. The initial consultation is always free. If you or a family member needs an experienced attorney you can trust, I want you to call me, Jason Thompson. My number is 900-0400. That's 210-900-0400 or alawyerforus.com.
Attention football fans. AARP Texas is teaming up with San Antonio Sports Star for this season's Dallas Cowboys training camp. Enter for your chance to win a pair of preseason tickets or tickets to a home game. Visit sasportstar.com now to enter for a chance to win. Don't miss out on this opportunity. Brought to you by AARP Texas. Whether you're a diehard fan or just love the excitement of game day, AARP Texas has you covered. Again, just go to sasportstar.com and enter for a chance to win big with AARP Texas. It's your chance to experience Cowboys football live. Visit sasportstar.com now.
The granddaddy of all hunting shows is back, and we are ready to cross the state of Texas to bring the best hunting show to a city near you. The Hunters Extravaganza is a great event for the whole family. We have the latest and greatest the hunting world has to offer, from products to hunts, and features seminars with Dr. Deer, Gary Robertson, and more. Come enjoy attractions like rattlesnakes, gator country, a fish tank, and many more. Join us in San Antonio for the Hunters Extravaganza. Get tickets at ttha.com. Brought to you by the Texas Trophy Hunters Association.
See website for details. Bills Happen is not a lender and does not make credit decisions. Not available in all states.
Hey, bills happen! So when you need extra cash fast, go to billshappen.com. Have you been turned down? Are your credit cards maxed out? Do you have bad credit? Go to billshappen.com. All you need is a job and a checking account. You could find a lender and get up to $5,000 cash as early as tomorrow at billshappen.com. Billshappen.com is the smart way to get a personal lender now. So if you need extra money for car repairs, medical bills, family emergencies, whatever you need cash for, go to billshappen.com and you can get the money you need as soon as the next day, up to $5,000. At billshappen.com, our process is safe, secure, and all online. No one to deal with in person, and Bills Happen does not charge you any fees to use our service. It's easy. When you need a lender, just remember, when bills happen, go to billshappen.com. Billshappen.com for the cash you need now. Billshappen.com.
Football season is coming. Is your home ready for the watch parties? Upgrade your entry game with Romo Door Supply. Tough, stylish doors at prices that score. Visit RomoDoorSupply.com today. That's RomoDoorSupply.com, where home starts strong.
Vacation mode? Check. Don't forget your furry friend. Bluebonnet Bunkin' Biscuit in Selma offers daycare, boarding, grooming, and more. Discounts for military, teachers, and first responders. Bluebonnet Bunkin' Biscuit, where pets play, stay, and feel at home.
Circa Million and Circa Survivor are back with a massive $21 million in guaranteed prizes. Circa Million. Pick 5 games against the spread each week. 126 ways to win with $6 million guaranteed. Circa Survivor, 1 pick a week. No point spread. Last the longest to win it all. $15 million guaranteed. Enter in Nevada. Play from anywhere. $21 million guaranteed. Visit circasports.com for details.
Hi, I'm Jason Thompson. I'm a personal injury attorney, and since 1994, I've been helping people and their families seriously injured or killed by negligent drivers. My website is alawyer4us.com. I use that phrase because I know that there's no way a regular San Antonian can possibly beat a billion-dollar insurance company alone. You will need an experienced attorney to stand up for you and get what you and your family deserve. This month, my father will retire after 50 years of practicing law, doing what he taught me to do, help people in need. Stand up for the people that cannot. Use the skills you have to help the people in your community win and where you can. When an insured driver seriously injures someone, a billion-dollar insurance company uses everything it can to pay as little as possible. Every insurance company you have heard of has a very large staff of attorneys already working against you. If you or a family member has been seriously injured because of a negligent driver, call me, Jason Thompson, as soon as you can after a collision. My number is 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400. Or check out my website, alawyer4us.com.
San Antonio Sports Star, live from Dallas Cowboys training camp, is brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds and sponsored in part by Southern Recipe Pork Rinds, Jim B, and AARP on South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Well, unfortunately, all good things have to come to an end, and our time in Oxnard is quickly coming to an end. I tell you what, you want to make time fly, come out here for a week in Oxnard, and it just goes by really fast. But a lot, and I would say a successful week, just being able to watch and see what the Cowboys are doing, Jason, and I don't know, it looks good, and certainly a much different feel this year than it was last.
A completely different feel, kind of like the temperatures here in Oxnard and the temperatures in San Antonio. But you look at it and you think about the week that we've had, and I'd encourage you, go listen to all the interviews at sasportstar.com, the audio vault powered by AA Best Bail Bonds, from what the boys on the Morning Huddle were able to do, what we were able to do out here, and just great storytelling. You know, talking at length with Cavante Turpin earlier today, or you think about Malik Hooker or Sam Williams. I mean, just so many great stories.
Miles Sanders,
yeah.
Stephen Jones, Nate Newton, was great. So yeah, it was a good week. A lot of insight. Cowboys look good for the most part from what we can see and glean out of training camp. It's always difficult. You know, you can get high and on a team. I didn't mean get high on
You're
a team.
in California.
With at
you
training
guys know
camp.
I ride high, and I get up high. I go to bed high.
So, boy, there's no digging my way out of that one, I guess. So I won't even try. But they look good, and
we got a cup when we get back.
I know it, right? Joe, come in the office. I need to talk to you. Yeah. It's going to be all right. I tell you what. It's a fun week, though. Fun week.
Fun week for sure. And again, we have been out here through the years. Joe's, this is what, your third or fourth camp with the
third with you guys, yeah.
But I mean, 25 years at Ken's TV, and I think about all the training camps that I've been to, and I will say what I thought I might see and what I saw. The offense under Schottenheimer, I thought would be a little bit behind, and it doesn't appear that way. And I some of that is based on what we heard from Mike McCarthy last year, saying, "Hey, with the new offense, it's going to take time." Now, granted, I know they're running scripted plays, and it's going to be different when Shoddy, as the head coach, is also calling in plays and what kind of rhythm they can get into. But the addition of George Pickens is, for a week of watching practice, way more impactful than I thought it might be. But also the different things that we're seeing them work on, because with the at least lip service about running the ball more, we've seen some practices where they were heavy run dominant. But when they get into the passing game, the weapons are incredible. From a fantasy standpoint, I don't know what to do in a sense of what. Well, because there are going to be games, and just look at Cincinnati where it's Higgins or it's Jamar Chase. And I think you're going to see games like that with the Dallas Cowboys. If CD's getting double covered, Pickens is going to be one-on-one. If they're both getting a little extra help, either Tolbert, a Mingo, who's had a really good week while we've been here, or Turpin or Ferguson. And certainly the passing game out of the backfield is something that we've seen a lot of. So I would expect that we'll see a lot of passes, screen passes, or actual routes run by running backs where they're a second option or sometimes even a first option.
Well, I think Jaden Blue is going to be really big in that, and Miles Sanders as well. In fact, all of these backs can catch the ball out of the backfield. To me, that's been the most impressive since I've been here, the running backs. And I think the Cowboys have addressed that, and I think they're going to have a good running game this year, however they choose to use those guys. That and the fact that the long ball is back.
Yeah.
Dak throwing the deep ball because he's got some guys that can go get it. We talked to Cavante Turpin here on the Blitz a little earlier today. He enjoys that. And then obviously George Pickens is a deep ball guy, and they're practicing that out here. So you can expect some deep balls when the Cowboys hit the field against Philadelphia for game one and throughout the season. The only questions and the biggest problem has been the offensive line simply because of injuries. Yeah. 7 guys are out of that right now. Nothing too serious other than Jones, who's got a broken neck, which is pretty serious. But those guys should be back. That's really the only question that I have, and of course the same one that we had, right? The defensive backfield is going to be an issue. So we'll see what happens. But overall, it's certainly different and certainly looks a lot better than it did last year.
It looks different, feels different, and the question is results on the field. And ultimately, that's all that matters. I mean, some things that we knew coming in, if you look at the Cowboys right now in the NFC East, they're the 3rd best team in the NFC East. I didn't see anything out here that makes me change my mind on that. They could win 10 games. Is that enough to get in the playoffs? No. But this offense could be explosive. Now, Cavante Turpin, he told us, man, they could have the best offense in the league.
Cincinnati's calling. They may have something to say about that. I don't know.
I mean, I don't know that I'd go that far, but could they have a top offense? I know they have an offense that should help Dak this year because he's on target to do it, to break Cowboy franchise records for yards and touchdowns. He should be able to get that done this season.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, he's going to get some opportunities, and with those 2 wide receivers, man, that's going to be brutal. He's got Dallas. You're right, has the potential offensively to be dynamic. That's for sure.
And defensively, if they don't have a Micah Parsons, they might just be like the Bengals. They might score 35 a game and still lose. I mean, but some of these other defensive players, if Sam Williams can rebound and have a great year, which he has flashed. That 2nd-round pick, whose name I'll learn when he's making big plays.
Izaraku.
Yeah, sure. He's playing well. The linebackers, the secondary is the biggest question, and a lot of that is when do we see Diggs back, and how soon before Stephon Gilmore shows up with the star in his helmet one more time, just from they need it from a depth standpoint.
Yeah, Kaiir Elam, though, is getting a lot of praise here over the last couple of days. If you're a Buffalo Bills fan, you hate that because you hate him.
Well,
but now the fact that he's coming to a team and he's actually going to produce, that's nice.
It's interesting when you look at Elam and different people that you talk to, whether, we were talking to Nate Newton earlier, just kind of shooting the breeze. And, he was talking about, he watches film from an offensive perspective, so defensive guys have to flash. He said Elam was flashing. Kristi Scales said that she's noticed a lot of nice things, a lot of high praise from Elam, and he was on the podium today. And look, you gotta be a baller to get podium time, and Elam was there. And sometimes the change of scenery, for whatever reason, what happened in Buffalo, well, stays in Buffalo, right? Maybe he, for whatever, it will work for him here.
It's too damn cold there. That's the problem.
It's too damn cold here.
Yeah, I agree with that. It was poor Elam who was on the podium when the news broke about Micah Parsons. Oh, that poor dude. Yeah. All those reporters out there.
All of us. Right? We're sitting out there, and then everybody's phone is blowing up. The PR people start the huddle, and Elam's like, what's going on now? Hey, did you see Micah? What are your thoughts?
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about. Well, look, here's the tweet from Micah. He's well, yeah, and he said all the good teammate things. He handled that like a pro.
Yeah, I mean, it caught everybody by surprise. John Machota was on with us earlier, and he was trying to get through that during that press conference too, and just a wild day and a really bizarre statement, I think, from Micah Parsons today.
The timing of it, the amount of detail that he shared on Twitter, interesting. Ultimately, I don't think it changes anything. He can request a trade all he wants. The Cowboys aren't going to trade him. I'd be shocked if somebody called Jerry with an offer that he couldn't refuse, because a team that wanted Micah that badly could have made that call months ago. And if the offer was that good, then Jerry knows what he wants to do with Micah Parsons. And when he's damn good and ready to sign him, it's going to get done. And if it was going to be this weekend, he'll delay it now, because Jerry does care about optics, and he's not going to sign him this weekend after that tweet and making him look like he just completely caved. He'll wait a couple of weeks before we know he completely caves.
Yeah, I think so. And he was going to do it anyway. And what happened today was nothing more than a temper tantrum from Micah Parsons. That's all it is. And he followed Terry McLaurin's lead on this thing. It wasn't even an original idea, for goodness sake.
He probably followed Myles Garrett a little bit more.
Maybe
Myles Garrett with a goodbye letter to Cleveland.
Oh,
and
sweet.
I want to go win a Super Bowl, and we're not going to do that here. It's never about the money. Oh, you're going to give me how much? Sure, I won't win a Super Bowl in Cleveland if you're going to pay me that much.
Well, of course. And look, once Micah signs his deal, Jerry Jones is going to be the greatest man ever, and Dallas is the best city ever, and the fans here
families fight.
Exactly.
They have falling outs and
That's
get back
what's gonna
together.
happen.
It's all love.
But this changed nothing.
A lot of zeros and commas will do that to you.
This changed nothing other than expose Micah Parsons as an immature dude.
The one thing about all of this is the Jane Slater tweet about how Micah Parsons can rub some of his teammates the wrong way. While they're all showing support now, changing their profile pictures on social media to Micah and saying all the right things, you wonder in the room, how liked is he really? And, now Jane's tweet referenced back when he was doing the podcast and criticized everybody but Micah Parsons when things weren't right. But you do wonder, though, about Micah in the room and just how well liked he is. Is he a great leader? Yes. Is he a great football player? Yes. Is he spending time teaching teammates? Yes. Is he somebody you want to hang out with? Maybe not.
Maybe not. That's interesting, and that's true. I don't know, but look, the players are rooting for him just simply because it helps everybody. Nobody wants to go through what's happening with Micah, but today didn't do anything other than just expose him to maybe the type of character guy he is.
It's a Dallas Cowboy. This is the way we do business stage of negotiation. It's gotten personal. It's gotten nasty. It's emotional now. And that's where we are. It's just the way the Cowboys always seem to do business. We know they're a better football team if Micah Parsons is there. I don't think Micah Parsons is going to sacrifice game checks and miss time.
Of course not.
And if he were to sit out, that does him no good if he misses games, because he won't get that year credited towards his free agency. So say he sat out this year. Well, next year, guess what? This year didn't count.
It did not.
And so he's in the same boat. And Jerry can tag him next year, and he can tag him the year after that for less money than what we anticipate that contract being. Maybe this is part of Jerry's plan all along.
That could be. Just drive the kid crazy and make him do something like this. Who knows? I don't know. But it's going to be an interesting story to continue to watch. But I agree with you. Jerry's not going to sign him right away. He can't. I just don't think he can right away. He's going to have to wait a while, and this thing's going to go on and on and on. And it could be right before that first game before we see it happen, just like it did with Dak Prescott.
I don't know. It's a great week here in Oxnard. We got one more dinner out here. Ryan Eagle refuses to go get seafood.
Dude, I'm telling you, man. Didn't we have seafood last night?
Yeah?
Yeah.
We were at Nobu.
Exactly.
We won't have seafood near as good as that.
Well, exactly. So I don't know, man. We need something else, but we'll decide.
You still need some grease in your life.
I need some heat for sure, for sure. Vince Trevino on our YouTube page, very insightful. He's asking where Rob and AJ are because they should be breaking down the equipment right now.
Well, they're sitting right in front of us, but they can't break down equipment until we're actually done. I mean, that's part of it. But they look well rested.
Yeah.
After not much sleep after a Nobu night.
Is that the same shirt Rob was wearing last night?
It's a different shirt.
It's
with
a different
snaps.
shirt.
Yeah.
A fun night at Nobu last night, for sure.
A funner night at the Rudder Room that these guys didn't get to participate in, which explains why Ryan Engel needs a lot more grease tonight.
And I wish I wouldn't have participated in that either.
Don't lie. That was a great decision that maybe wasn't.
I was already overserved to begin with. So
you weren't overserved.
Yeah, well, my body told me that when I woke up this morning.
I mean, you're the one that bellied up to the bar every time.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm a participant, baby.
Yeah.
Come on.
There you go. Hey, don't forget, tomorrow is our annual back-to-school drive-through event happening from 11 to 1 over at the Gomez Law Firm, presented by the Gomez Law Firm, Air Raid, North Park Toyota, Las Palapas, Roma Door Supply, Central Med, and the College of Healthcare Professionals, Lighthouse Public Schools. Free backpack and school supplies, drive-through event. So you line up, get there early because last year people were lining up before 9. You drive through, roll down your window. They hand you a backpack with a bunch of supplies, and you keep driving.
There you go. That's easy.
Tomorrow.
No problem.
Yep.
Get there early. That's for sure. All right, we got to get out of here.
Yeah,
Minix.
we do.
Extra Innings with Pledger is coming up. By the way, thanks, Pledge, for everything you did. Appreciate that. And the boys on the morning huddle, we'll see you bright and early back in San Antonio on Monday morning. They start at 6 o'clock, and we'll be back in studio Monday as well at 2 o'clock. Until then, thanks for joining us all week out here in Oxnard. Have a great weekend, everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, the weekend.
AA Best Bail Bonds coverage of Cowboys training camp live from Oxnard, California.